Welcome, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. I am joined with our regulars, Critic Al
Evening.
and Dad Menace.
Hello.
And second time on here, I think it is. Is it second time? World War Joe.
Hey, thanks very much for having me on, guys.
Thank you for joining me here and everyone in chat. Yeah, thank you. Well, no one's in chat at the moment, but hopefully that should change soon because it should be a good
Lazy
little...
bastards.
I know.
Anybody think it was hot in the UK or something?
How dare the chat be late?
Fucking boiling. I had a nice little, I had a nice little sit out in the sun as well. You know, just trying to see if I can get a tan. So far, no luck. I'm still pale as fuck.
You jammy bastard.
Yeah, bollocks to that. When it gets this hot, I just hide inside with a fan.
I try to indulge it as much as I can because very soon we're just going to go back to cold, shitty weather, especially.
Yeah, true. We've had our few days allotted sunshine. That's it for the UK now.
I know, but still, if we're going to have a hot day inside, might as well do it discussing a really good film that's nearly 30 years old now and is still fucking great even today.
Quality.
It's crazy that it's 27 years old this year.
I know, and it seems to be. It doesn't seem to be hyped much to these days as it used to. I mean, back in the day when it first came out, it was everywhere. I was seeing it all over the fucking TV adverts, and people would just not stop banging on about it. It was like
I think Men in Black International just killed it off.
Oh yeah, that really.
Truly.
It had probably make another one too.
Tessa Thompson in it, and that was it.
Yeah, no, I think I don't like the idea that there's other Men in Black fucking headquarters or companies or whatever somewhere out there, but sometimes it's just best to sort of like it's K&J that made Men in Black. It's the chemistry of Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith that really made it worth watching, though. Yeah,
totally. Without them, it was always going to struggle, and unfortunately, they looked at Ragnarok and went, "Oh, Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, they had a tiny little bit of chemistry for Ragnarok," and put them in Men in Black International, and it was just a complete non-event. It was just awful. I watched it once, and I think I've forgotten pretty much everything about it, to be honest.
Yeah, did you try to make Tessa Thompson the girl boss on this?
They tried, yeah. What it was Hemsworth was kind of like the senior agent, but he was also a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense.
It made no sense. It just completely ruined the dynamic. So, you know.
Well, Jamal Amara, if you're listening, that's okay. I mean, glad you could join us. And if you do get a chance to chat, feel free to do so. It's, just if it's because we all get busy sometimes, all right? Even sometimes I get busy listening to my friends in their streams. So so no hard feelings there. I'm glad you could join us.
Yeah, quite often I'll just have a stream on in the background, to be honest, while I'm editing or something like that. I can't always contribute, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it was just that period where they were just trying to insert identity politics into every single fucking thing. Oh, Ray Terry, nice to see you there, man. Good to see friends of my friends joining in. And
is that Big Ray? Oh, it is. Hello, Ray.
If you stream it, they will come.
They will come.
Yeah, Tessa Thompson, she's just the worst. And apparently they're going to try and put her in the next 4 movie. I'm just like, please stop trying to make her happen.
I know, I'm not going to lie. I used to find her a little bit hot in Ragnarok, but then she started becoming really fucking insufferable right up her own ass. And then as soon as I started seeing more of her, I started realising, she can't fucking act. She can't.
Well, the only reason she was in those films, let's be honest, is because she was having a freeway with bloody Taika Waititi and Rita Ora.
Oh, yeah. I would not put that past Taika Waititi. I really wouldn't.
Wank.
Chris Hemsworth has come out and said that he feels more like a joke character and stuff now. So at least he's kind of self-aware with the roles that he's getting these days.
Yeah, to a point, though, he invited it on himself because he started taking on all these comedy roles. I mean, look at Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he did Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because it was almost like they were having payback for having Annie Potts as the secretary. And it's like, yeah, but Annie Potts' character was not a fucking div. She was actually very smart. She was just
the boss
character.
Yeah.
It was just total malice on the part of the girls involved, wasn't it? It's just like, we're gonna show this guy up to be a himbo and all that kind of stuff. It's like, that was never done to Annie Potts, as you say.
No, she was a very clever, smart, sarky character. She just happened to work in a job she fucking hated, and and she had personality, and she was very funny.
But that's why they can't be trusted to reverse these roles. They can't be trusted to try and
Nope.
make anything, that would present things in a different way, because they're just going to do it from a point of spite, not anything else, which is proven with nearly everything we watched today. Especially things like, the Acolyte and stuff like that. It's just malice. It's just pure malice. There's no goodwill at all.
I know, and it's a shame because Chris Hemsworth is a very, very charismatic guy, charming guy, and he can.
totally.
And he shows to be very good in Extraction as well. He showed he can be a really good, proper badass when he needs to be, and he can be a very good villain as well. He was pretty good in Furiosa and Sparta.
Yeah, he was one of the bright spots in that film for me.
Yeah,
added a lot of
Furiosa was boring as fuck. It was.
He added a lot of energy to it that would have absolutely been missing otherwise. Because let's face it, bloody Anna Taylor-Joy says like 20 words in the entire movie.
Yeah, she's a good actress. But I almost forgot she was in it most of the time, though. I did.
Yeah,
I like some of her. I like some of her performances. I liked her in The Witch and Northman and The Menu. I
think she's a great actress. I don't think that's the right film for her.
I know.
Simple as that.
They're trying to push her too much. That's the thing, though. Hollywood gloms onto these actresses and actors and then push them to the moon, but they always push them in the wrong things.
Yeah, I mean, all she needs is like a couple of films to bomb, and then that's it. She's not getting any that big work anymore like she used to. It's
don't do Mad Max without Mad Max.
I know.
And also, don't do it 10 years after the last bloody movie.
Yeah, they went way too fucking long, and plus COVID had kind of fucking ruined it as well, because they couldn't do as much of the practical stuff they did earlier in the earlier movie, and it just looks a bit fake when you.
I mean, nothing in it was as impressive as Fury Road, in my opinion. That sandstorm scene is almost poetic. It's almost like an art house film. The way that he films it and all that kind of stuff. There was nothing to that standard in Furiosa, and some of the CGI, as you say, was really dodgy, really bad.
Speaking of CGI, though, the CGI in this is actually not that bad still. I mean, there's still a few places where it looks like, you can tell it's a bit, but
there's a lot of practical effects in this film as well, though, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, the boat looks a bit rough from what I remember, but
okay, we've got Inside Man trying to get on, but apparently his device is not connected. So don't worry, man. Hopefully you get on soon. And thanks for at least trying to join us anyway.
I'm sure he'll make it eventually.
He will. It happened before. It should. Hopefully it gets a bit. Hopefully it will get better for him soon.
I think this is one of those films where the dodgy CGI actually lends it a certain amount of charm.
Yeah, because they still use like practical effects by. Is it Rick Baker that does the effects on here?
I think it is Rick Baker, yes.
Yeah, and you can see a little bit of the CGI, but you can still see a little bit of the practical effects, and it does add a little bit of a creepy grossness to it as well. It's especially Vincent D'Onofrio's skin hanging off his bones makeup kind of thing going on, which I really love. I mean, Vincent
the movie won an Oscar, didn't it? It won an Oscar for the best makeup effect. Best makeup effect.
Here he is. Here we go, Inside Man. How you doing, man?
Hello, mate. Yeah. It looks like the most interesting moment talking about Rick Baker.
I think that's special effects.
Yeah. I mean, he was somebody that I worked with. Just the once. Somebody that I was always desperate to work with. But I did manage to work with him, which was quite nice.
Well, Rick Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking legend, man. Rick Baker as well.
A legend in the special effects field, isn't he? Probably second only to Stan Winston or something like that, really. To be honest.
And that's sorry to drop names, but that's another one that I work with as well.
You worked with Lords, that's why we like having you on as well.
Thank you.
Have some stories as well about it as well, which makes these streams better and all.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you so much.
You all do well. I mean, you've all got your your views on your outlooks on this film, and it's all. We've all got our own little opinions on it and little insights as well, because we're having like different guests as well, adding those little things on.
Yeah. That's what I like about these streams. It's we don't always disagree. Don't always disagree. We don't always agree. But I think it's nice to be among people that you don't agree with, and to have some kind of at least civilized and cordial discussion about the things on which we disagree.
Absolutely essential. Echo chambers solve absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and what I like about this film
No,
as
it
well
doesn't.
is it's unapologetically gross as well. It's very gruesome, but
Yeah.
it's all off screen. Because people die pretty horribly in this fucking movie.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, I always get the feeling that there's an R-rated cut somewhere that didn't make it as well. But I would kill to kind of see it as well.
Or they should
Can
make
you,
it.
can you imagine it? Can you imagine it? Can
I
you
can
imagine that?
imagine
I mean,
that,
it's,
yeah.
yeah.
But
I never
think
read the
it's
comics, so I don't know how graphic that was as a graphic novel. I've no idea, but yeah.
Yeah, because it did start off as like a comics, and the comic wasn't even that old when this came out. Apparently it was in 1990 as a free mini issue thing, and it's a very good little satire on the whole conspiracy theories of
Yeah.
there's a secret men keeping these aliens hidden from us, and there's a lot of stuff, and it's all happening all around us, and we are too fucking dumb and in our own little world to notice. And I love that. It's
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think you're absolutely spot on saying that it's a satire. It really is quite satirical. It's not just a kind of action adventure sci-fi comedy. It does have a satirical element to it, and you're right. It does play on that whole, conspiracy theory that so unfortunately, I think too many people put a little bit too much faith and stock into. But there's a reason that they're called conspiracy theories.
They walk among
there's
us.
always some kind of hint of truth where you kind of like which always bit as well. But that's what makes this so good. I mean, they do it in a very, very clever, inventive way as well, and they do it with this sort of like dark, kind of gallows sense of humor, and especially especially when you combine the different personalities, the chalk and cheese partnership and chemistry of Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith, because these are both actors that were really fucking smashing it in the Nazis. Tommy Lee Jones was an older actor, and the Nazis was really him at his best. He had done Under Siege, he had done fucking JFK. He kind of did bad in Batman Forever, though, but he had won an Oscar in The Fugitive, fucking laws. And Will Smith was just starting to show he could be this fucking badass action man when he did Bad Boys and Independence Day, and but he still managed to sort of retain that goofy charm he had in Fresh Prince here.
Yeah, the funny thing is about this one. This is, look, I'm not a fan of Will Smith, and I think I've probably said it quite a few times. A lot of people
out these days.
Yeah, I just, I've never liked him. I've never liked him, but this is the only film that he's been in that I've actually liked him in. I haven't liked him in anything else that I've seen him in. Not one. Not
Wild
one
Wild West.
Oh,
Am I in the wrong chat or something?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
But Tommy Lee Jones, I mean, he was around for years and years and years prior to all of this stuff. I think the first thing that I saw him in was a film called Rolling Thunder with William Devane, which is a superb film. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good kind of 70s of revenge-o-matic kind of movie. It's a brilliant, brilliant film, and he is shit hot in it. He's absolutely on fire.
Quiet here. Hello, is everyone there? Sorry, everything went quiet.
Hello.
Yeah, still here, mate.
Yeah, no, sorry. Did everything go quiet for you, or was it just me?
Yeah, it did go a little bit quiet. Yeah, it did.
things do cut out now and again. I'm not sure.
Thing going on.
The time was still going on, but I didn't know if there was still some problems with the signal for a second. Then it's yeah. But yeah, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, so the film Rolling Thunder that he was in the 70s, I think it was late 70s, 78 possibly, so 70, 76, 78, something like that. With
1977 it was.
77, there you go. But it's a brutal film. a really, really brutal revenge movie. And I'm assuming this is the movie that Quentin Tarantino named his DVD, company after. It's called, the Rolling Thunder DVDs or whatever it is. But I'm assuming that this is the movie that he's named it after. But it's a terrific film, and he's just so good in it. Tommy Lee Jones is so good.
Yeah, I
He
don't
doesn't
think I've
get
ever seen him in a bad performance.
yeah, agreed.
And he does the old grumpy man thing better here, because when he did Two-Face, he was so over the top, and I was like, he's really perfectly cast as fucking Harvey Dent, but he's playing it like the fucking Joker.
Mm.
And it was just.
I think some of that might be Schumacher's fault, though, because he told everybody to dial their performances up.
I think that's probably one of the few times where I thought his performance was the fucking worst. And but that's it. I mean, I don't mind him going hammy in there Under Siege. He's actually kind of fun in Under Siege.
He's fun in that with his harmonica and everything, isn't he? He's sort of almost like a hippie type thing he's got going on, and it kind of
it's like this hippie who never fucking grew up, and he's
exactly. And no, you're right. In Batman Forever, he's definitely the worst part about it, unfortunately.
I totally forgot that he was in that Batman Forever, because just out of sheer coincidence, Spielberg wanted Chris O'Donnell to play Will Smith's character. He actually told Barry Sonnenfeld to take Chris O'Donnell to dinner and convince him to do the movie.
I know it's easy to see why, though, because it's got a very dark sense of humour that kids will love, and you can still watch it with a family and still have fun with it. And
he was quite a sort of fresh face, wasn't he, at the time? Chris O'Donnell.
I cannot imagine this film with Chris O'Donnell and Will Smith.
Thank God that.
No, not going to work at all.
Anyhow, Sonnenfeld took him to dinner, told him that he wasn't a very good director, told him the script was shite, and put him off completely. So,
why would he say that?
And I can safely say, if it had been Chris O'Donnell, we would not be talking about this film now.
Yeah.
Well, he chose Will Smith because his wife.
His
wife. His wife was a fan of The Fresh Prince, so she said, "Stick him in the movie."
Oh right, okay.
His
wife.
Happy wife, happy life.
Not Will Smith's wife. Not Will Smith's wife. Yeah.
Will Smith's wife was a fan of a fan of Chris O'Donnell and sucked Spielberg off. Yeah.
Which is a fan of everyone, not Will Smith. So.
Yeah, exactly. Dirt.
Yeah. Nice hair, though.
Who, Will Smith?
No, his ex-wife. Lovely hairdo.
Oh, I don't think they're ex. I think they're still married.
Oh, are they still married?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll never divorce her.
Yeah. Poor sod.
Yeah, I think it just went quiet again.
I think everyone was just lost for words.
Yeah.
I do actually feel for the guy, because, I mean, like, whatever you fault him for, his personality faults and whatever like that, he's obviously in love with her. It's as simple as that. And
I know, and he's just fucking allowing her to just take him.
Exactly, she's just walking all over him.
Either. She never stands by him, and he fucking stands by her.
Yep, exactly.
It's not even like it's benefiting her in any way either. It's not like she's getting all these thousands of roles because of this.
Yeah.
She's just evil.
Yeah, she sounds like
I'd agree with that.
I mean, she sounds like a psychopath, because that's what they fucking do. They just go out of the way to make other people miserable for their own entertainment, and then they fucking got to move on to someone else because the other person has seen them for who they are. But Will Smith's been real fucking slow on the uptake here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's a willing blindness, or whether he is truly just naive, because they do say love is blind. I don't know, but it's not really done him any favours, and it's done his missus all the favours. So she's got what she wants out of it, I suppose, at the end of the day.
I know, but fuck it, moving on. His love life's a shit show. He's not going to do anything about it. So
no, that's it exactly. Yeah, onwards with the film.
No, but it does start off. It starts off as like a very clever way. Just having this guy smuggling aliens, illegal aliens, and this is a type of film that we're seeing people smuggling actual fucking aliens, but not from another country, but from from other worlds. And right at the beginning, we see.
Ooh. Hello, it's gone a bit quiet.
Hello, yeah.
I can hear you guys.
Luke's dropped out.
Can't drop out. It's the host. It's outrageous.
No, he's
fucking Microsoft. I've still got him here, but
I heard a really gross thing about Will Smith that he said that he's been with so many women that the idea of being with someone else makes him vomit.
Ah, shit.
I imagine the dude was swimming in pussy back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk. I need to come back in and out again because my stream is fucking up a little bit for some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, give me a second. I'll try and exit and come back in soon. All right.
Okay, mate.
Right.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, it's funny. You know, like I say, I was never really a fan of him, but this is actually a cracking film. You know,
yeah, it's a really good film. It's one of those films that it's very, very funny and silly, but it's actually got some kind of serious points in it as well.
Yeah.
You know, which is always the mark of a very, very good film, I find, and a film that will last, as opposed to something that's just, you know, throw away. And
well made.
They can continue the franchise in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, a good sequel too.
Yeah, I mean, this I think is obviously the standout among all of them.
Yeah.
But I just like, you know, the differentiation between the two characters. You know, this kind of clear sort of delineation between you know, somebody who is kind of more of a, for want of a better phrase, street kid versus this you know, this kind of stoic pragmatist.
Yeah,
you know?
I was saying earlier before you joined us, it's probably one of the best double acts in a film. It's up there. Things like the Blues Brothers and things like that for me.
Yeah.
You know, it really, the dynamic between them, where you've got the ultra straight sort of by the book veteran, which is obviously Tommy Lee Jones' character Kay, and then you've got the youngster Jay, you know, who kind of thinks he knows it all but doesn't. But as you say, at the same time, he's kind of streetwise and all that kind of stuff. It just worked really well. And again, I would not trust Hollywood to pick up this kind of dynamic these days without completely wrecking it, which is what they showed they did with Men in Black International. So, you know.
They had that perfect yin and yang between both of them, and it fit perfectly. And the way the story paced it wasn't on the nose dialogue. It explained it in a way that we were along for the ride.
Yeah,
exactly that. Yeah, and
you don't get that today.
Nobody turned around and went, "Oh, you know, the old white man's talking down to the black person" or anything like that. It wasn't a thing. Will Smith was stupidly charming, easygoing, streetwise. Everybody liked him in this, you know, and it just wasn't an issue. Like,
but it's still playing up. So I might be cutting out. I might be cutting out occasionally. I don't know why it's happening to my signal, and it's really annoying. This is really annoying, but I'm still gonna plow through.
Yeah.
Stiff British upper lip, old chap.
Yeah. Let's
carry on until we cannot.
Exactly.
I know. I'm pausing it. Should not be going wrong for me, but yeah.
But going back to what we were saying about like the dynamics between the two main characters, we've got like a pretty great cast, but also behind the scenes we've got like Barry Sonnenfeld doing his thing that he's already directed, like Addams Family 1 and 2. He's done Men in Black trilogy.
Just giving it that little sort of it's kind of like a very. The film looks like it has a very oddball look to it as well.
It gives it the quirky feel there.
Yeah.
We've got a great writer in Ed Solomon who started out. He was a staff writer for Laverne and Shirley, but he went on to write all three Bill and Ted movies. Right. He did Charlie's Angels with Cam Diaz and Drew Barrymore, etc. Did Men in Black, both the Now You See Me films. He was actually working on the Invisible Man movie that was going to star Johnny Depp for Universal.
Ooh, right.
That was obviously pulled from under.
Yeah, it can because of the Ted thing.
Oh, was that part of the bloody dark universe?
Dark universe.
That did
The one
not
that
sound
started off
as
that
well,
mummy,
did it?
that mummy film, and died with the mummy film very quickly.
Yeah, I think
right?
Spielberg produced this as well, didn't he? Spielberg.
Yeah, he
Was it
produced
executive producer, wasn't it? Executive producer.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He was an executive producer on a lot, though, wasn't he? And
Yeah, he was.
you and you always wonder if he had a little bit of creative input in him though, as well, like he did with Back to the Future.
We also
I
got
do...
as well. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Sonnenfeld. What was I going to say? No, the cinematographer Don Peterman, I think, worked on this. Who did the likes of Flashdance, Cocoon, Point Break, Men in Black, Splash, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So you can kind of see a similar sort of cinematography thing going on throughout this movie as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Plus, we had Danny Elfman doing the score as well. So all those elements there,
terrific.
and you've just got like it's and a $90 million budget as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, I mean it's funny though. You know, this is the kind of film that I look at and rewatch, and I think, do you know, I really miss being entertained.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it.
The scenario as a kid, it was just fun, you know. And I wasn't a kid. I was probably like, I don't know, you say 97. This was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was 17.
Yeah.
But, I was like, I was in the cinema. I was just like, this is just fun. It's not pretentious. It's not trying to.
It is, and then like modern day now, you must have execs sitting going, well,
we've got to have this, we've got to have that, and
what worked? Men in Black, that worked, but they're not asking how did that work. What made that work? What were the elements that went into that movie to produce something so great to entertain the audience for the next 20 to 30 to 40 years, which I'm sure it will do.
Yeah, I mean, it's characters that's most important as well, and because it still follows like the old weary guy who wants to retire because this life is starting to take its toll on him and pass the torch on to a younger upstart who's brash, but he learns as the journey progresses. And it still has that. It's still like those little kind of little bones to build up on before you
start.
That's
the hidden depth behind it, and the characters, isn't it? Like Tommy Lee Jones' character Kay, and the woman he left behind, and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's all stuff that they just don't seem to be able to do these days, and I don't know why. I mean,
I think because everything seems to be contrived. They seem to think that they have, that they have to go by some sort of formula. Literally a formula, as in, they have all of the ingredients and they put them together and they believe that the outcome is going to be something pretty special.
That's exactly like films made by algorithm, isn't it? Like,
it is.
Half an hour in, you've got to have this beat and you've got to have this beat, and it just it becomes soulless. And this film is anything but soulless.
We need an old hard-nosed guy, and we need a cocky guy from New York.
And this is him, Tommy Lee Jones, and it's already showing us a little bit of like we've got a nice little parallel with illegal immigrants from fucking Mexico coming getting smuggled into America, or someone trying to. But it turns out there's more to it than this, because if it wasn't, this guy wouldn't be showing up right now. And he's telling them all, he's part of some IRS Division 6, which is bullshit. He makes up some lie, and he's obviously trying to suss out who is the alien as well, and finally he comes across this fucking guy, and he's just saying everything, isn't he? Just insulting him, and as soon as he nods, he's like, "Yeah, we got him." And he tells, and this is where you see he's got another partner as well who's older than he is, and
Who is that guy? I've seen him before in stuff.
He was in
as well.
what was it? He was in one of Steven Seagal's movies. What's he called, man? Richard Hamilton. Yeah. He's been around a while. He was in Pale Rider as well. On Deadly Ground, that's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, that's an awful film.
Oh, terrible.
That's more the oil refineries.
It is horrible,
isn't it?
I watched that at the cinema and thoroughly enjoyed it, and then watched it years later and thought, what are you thinking?
Yeah, my internet is just fucking cutting out at the moment. It is becoming a pain in the ass right now. It just keeps coming on and off. It's like the signal's really weak today. I don't know what's happening.
Might need some new batteries in. Hello?
Or it's a conspiracy theory, just like the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what we were saying before, though, as he's trying to come back, though, with the Mummy, how is it possible that that movie was so bad that they killed the entire universe? Yet we have a slew of Marvel movies that keep losing tons of money and all these shows and everything, and they're still going down this route of it.
I think part of it is because there are people that think that they know what the audience want, and they
never
just
talk,
don't.
do they? They never talk to audiences. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I went quiet again. You know, if I go quiet during mid sentence, then my internet is conking out.
So we'll pick up the pace. It's all right.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, it was Warner Brothers, wasn't it? The Dark Universe was it Universal.
Universal, yeah.
Universal. Maybe they're
because they're well known for those monster movies, aren't they?
Yeah, they might not
have.
We'll
through the scene a little bit, and then we'll get back on track a little bit.
Maybe they don't have the investors or the capital to.
Well, Disney are propped up a lot by the parks as well, aren't they? So they can afford to take those losses. I think Universal just took one look at it and just went, you know, it's a bad idea. Let's not do it. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad because I'm sick of combined universes at this point. I've had enough of it. I just don't care.
I know. We just want to go back to some standalone movies now. Forget sequels. Let's just have a good standalone movie. And if it looks like it could use a sequel, okay, we'll give it a go. But
it's like BBC. The new Superman movie. It's got like 8 bloody superheroes in it, from what I can tell. Like, how about you just focus on a good Superman movie first, and then.
I know they're saying the universe that will never happen again, and they've already wasted fucking 10 years of the last DC universe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were playing catch up with Marvel, weren't they? That's the problem. They saw the Avengers and they saw the money that the Avengers went and went, all right, we need to get our Justice League movie out straight away. We won't spend any time actually developing the characters. And they just completely fucked it from start to finish, basically.
So
the good thing about that universe was Wonder Woman.
Anyway, so obviously they got the guy, and it turns out he is a fucking alien. He's apparently he's been breaching some fucking treaties. He's breaking his parole, and it looks like they're about to arrest him. But then he spots one of the fucking border guards have spotted him, so he just fucking flips out and knocks this guy to the ground. And he's obviously struggling to get his weapon to work. And the
whole thing is he's slow, he's old.
So Kay has to fucking take the initiative. He just blasts him and
ready to be taken out to the back of the shed and give them both barrels. So
the old yeller.
Yeah, old yeller, exactly. Yeah.
It's a bit harsh of Tommy, this, isn't it?
Do you think this was meant to be a sequel? Do you think they originally went into this thinking it was just going to be a standalone, or did they have the future things planned out already, you think?
No, I'm pretty sure they went in as a standalone, knowing that they'd have extra stuff to develop if needs be, but I don't think they planned a sequel.
Really
bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, caught again. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean that's a really, really good question because, and I think you're right, Al. I mean, it's one of those things.
I'm going to try and shut my you keep going. I'm going to try and shut my computer down again and start again and hope this might fucking work.
Okay, mate.
Yep,
put it in the bin.
Apologise.
Because I think it's one of those things where they know that they can't really sort of plan for a sequel, but doors are always kind of left open. There's always, I think the big studios are always looking for the next franchise.
Yeah.
But if it's a standalone movie, then I mean, this could have been a standalone movie. I would have been perfectly happy with this being a standalone movie.
I don't think it needed. I mean, 2 is pretty damn bad. I kind of liked 3. I liked that it had a little bit to each of the characters' stories, and Josh Brolin made it quite watchable. But it's a formula where what can you really do with it? It was destined for TV series, and if I remember correctly, they did actually do an animated TV series.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a cartoon of it.
Yeah, so I think that's the natural format for it. It's quite a hard concept to stretch over a movie. It fits more of an Alien of the Week kind of format, basically. It is the performances of Smith and Lee Jones that make it worth watching, I think.
Yeah,
I think if you put 2 inferior actors in it that don't have that chemistry, and we'll never know what could have happened and who could have been in it. There's been so many almost casts, in the past that could have worked and potentially did in alternate universes, but I can't think of anything working quite as well as these two in this.
No,
They had lightning in a bottle, and we're probably not going to see chemistry like this for a very, very long time, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Well, no, not in this way. And they won't let it happen either. That's the other problem. I mean, because they would have to, for example, in this, I mean, Linda Florentine is quite nice to look at, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't have that much of a role, really. She's no damsel in distress necessarily, but, you know, she's definitely the third wheel, as it were.
Well, she
and
has that
I
shot
don't
at
think modern
the end,
Hollywood would let it happen. I just don't.
Yeah. Well, she does that massive shot at the end, though, and that was pretty much her last, like, you know, heroic moment. Wasn't she? Hate to jump ahead though, but do you think she was supposed to be in the sequel ones?
I would say so.
Because they were kind of setting that up though, and then they just decided to go in a completely different direction.
At the end of the movie, she was dressed and ready to
somebody
go.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I think you're right. You know, describing it as lightning in a bottle. You know, these kinds of on screen, you know, chemistries that we do have from time to time. They're few and far between.
Back on. I'm going to use my phone for this. All right. So
okay, mate.
If it conks out on the PC, yeah, it won't. I'll be still on here because
no,
it's just one of those days where the signal's shit. All right. I'll continue until I get the slides back up.
What you get for living in the arse end of nowhere, mate.
It's the end of the earth.
Or maybe it's still the smoke drifting over from the Leeds riots.
Oh, who knows? Fucking hell. Not be surprised.
What a bunch of knobbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of who could have been in this movie, apparently David Schwimmer turned down the role of what was Will Smith's character.
Oh,
David Schwimmer.
I think I'd rather have Donald, to be
Can
honest.
you imagine?
If David Schwimmer was in it, he would be the comic relief. And as I'm thinking about this movie, there really isn't a comic relief or that annoying, cringy character that everyone hates. Everyone plays it very well, and the comedy's good. But if David Schwimmer was in it, he would be just the comic relief, I think.
He'd be like the Rob Schneider character, wouldn't he? Because that's what Rob Schneider does in every single bloody film. I think of Judge Dredd, for example, where he almost ruins that film single-handedly for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like the guy though, but he was just not fucking funny in that movie. I kind of didn't mind him as the small roles in Adam Sandler movies, but yeah.
Yeah, he can work from time to time. I'm not going to say his entire catalogue is a complete.
American Gigolo is kind of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, exactly. He does a couple of funny bits here and there, but in that Judge Dredd movie, he just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Who was that? Who are we talking about? Sorry,
Rob Schneider.
In
the Stallone Judge Dredd movie.
He had no business being in there at all.
Yeah, that was. I'm so sorry to do this, but that was another one that I worked on.
It was your bloody fault.
I kind of like that one, guys.
Oh no, I like the film. I mean,
it's a guilty pleasure in places. I mean,
I used to love those 90s ones like that.
It just did a lot wrong by having. Yeah.
There's a lot to like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
they totally got Mega City 1 absolutely spot on, and then when they did the updated movie, the Mega City 1 looked nothing like it. They could have combined those two.
And that was I'm so sorry. That was another one that I worked on.
Oh, it's all
right. We're getting off track now. We're getting off track.
You haven't bloody worked on.
Everybody. Hey, we're getting off track now a little bit now because I've been going in enough, so we have to try and get through the movie a little bit as well. So
okay, mate.
We'll do a little after conversation later about it. So so obviously they're exposed now. Thankfully, they got a fucking damage control team, and this is where we know that they're always on the fucking ball. I mean, if something goes wrong, they've got backup plans. They're 10 steps ahead, and if anyone sees it, that's where we're introduced to this something called the neuralizer.
Yeah, and it's like the real immigration side of it. So it works on two levels, kind of thing.
I know, and it's very cool as well. If there's any witnesses whatsoever, they can just blank the memory and just to what they want them to forget, and just build a new memory as well, just by suggesting it, just by saying the new memory, they'll remember it as if it was. It's I don't know how that fucking works, but I got on with it because it's still a cool fucking movie.
Yeah.
And
they take the mickey out of it in future films, if I remember correctly. Like Jay flashes somebody, he's like, "Oh shit, I already flashed you," and I've already done the explanation and stuff like that, and and I've seen some other stuff take the piss out of it as well. But here you've got D just going, "No, I'm too old. I'll miss the chase," and then Tommy Lee Jones is like, "Nah, you won't."
Because he nearly got this guy killed as well because he was too slow, just not with it anymore. I know.
Old Yeller.
I know. So he's done the can thing for him. He's gonna blank his memory, fucking erase everything of his work, and have him just spend the remaining few years of his life as a normal guy, and have a life, a real.
What I really
I imagine that's standard Men in Black procedure, to be honest.
Yeah, as well.
Anybody left with their memory would be a liability, so I imagine flashing them is the neuralizing them is the standard.
I know, it means to kill him as well because not so much.
I was saying that I really love what he does right here, though, where he looks up and says, looks at the stars and says they're beautiful, and then later on at the end of it, Kay says kind of the exact same thing, but it's almost like he doesn't really know how to say it in a way.
I know,
it's almost like
a guy, isn't he? Kind of a little bit inside. He's had to be a bit more stern over the years.
Yeah,
because they look at these stars all the time and know what's behind them, but this is where he just admires them for the first time in a long time, and it's very touching.
We didn't know it at this stage, but obviously Kay used to be a very different person. We get to find this out in Men in Black 3. So obviously you find out he was a more sort of happy-go-lucky, not exactly, sort of like a hippie type thing, but he was a more chilled dude back in the day. And then obviously the tragedy happens. That means
sorted out without an ass pass. Yeah, it's like
and exactly. But you've got to think there's got to be something to. We do look at the stars with a total innocence, don't we? We don't know what's up there. Yeah. There's a charm behind them, and if you do know what's out there, and you do have to deal with it on a daily basis, you are going to lose that romanticism with the stars. And I think that's what he's trying to convey in the film, is that his ignorance brings with it a bliss that he's lost, and he's looking forward to getting that back.
Yeah, great way of putting it. Never thought about it like that.
There is a lot of layers to these films as well. Like, you don't know them when you're a kid, but the more you watch them, you start to see them more and more. And it's now we're on to the next thing. This is where we're introduced to Will Smith's character, Jay, and he's chasing this fucking freaky guy. His other coppers can't fucking catch up because they're fucking fat and out.
Too many donuts.
Yeah. But you're seeing a bit more of this world as well. It's kind of in our everyday life. We're seeing it a lot more now. We're seeing this guy who's jumping off this bridge at height, such a big height, and he's surviving it. Will's like, what the fuck is happening? And he jumps on this post and it's just like raining black people in New York, huh?
That's another thing to say, is that the script in this film is so good.
I know, this is where it starts to add, this is where the plot starts to kick off a little bit. We start seeing little hints of what is to come. This guy saying, he's coming. Will Smith just thinks he's just some crazy guy, and he's like, yeah, I'll arrest his ass too. But now he gets the drop on him. He flips over that fucking wall. He's got to shave even more. And he's noticing he's running up the fucking building like
Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, we're kind of seeing this insanity through Jay's eyes as well here as well. We're wondering, what the fuck is happening here?
Why is he dressed like a convict? Will Smith, why is he wearing orange jumpsuit pants?
Because it's the 90s.
Good point. It's just you look at the other police officers dressed in, police outfits. I'm
sure everyone was wearing shell suits and tracksuits back then. Yeah, no, you raise a good point. I mean, you think about the amount of people that would, see stuff like this, and it works in the 90s because obviously we didn't have the camera phones and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many things that break down when you introduce technology like camera phones and stuff, because it's like, well, you just fucking record it, which is why so many films these days have to come up with some kind of reason why a phone doesn't work. But yeah, back then people saw these things and they didn't really have any way of recording it because nobody has a bloody camcorder on all the time. And you'd see these weird shit and it'd just be hearsay. So,
Yeah.
The look is that most street gangs took their fashion cues from convicts. Like, the reason why they had their trousers so low down their ass is because convicts weren't allowed fucking drawstrings or belts around the waist for fear they could bit suicide or so bad anyway. But he's got to blend in with the crowd as well. So he's obviously a street cop, plainclothes, and he can get into the more. He can actually get in with other criminals because he's got that look. He talks like them as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You can
Absolutely.
imagine him easily being undercover, can't you? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where he catches the guy in there. This is where he starts to see that things are not all as they seem because he has that. He's like saying, "He's coming. He's going to kill."
Yeah.
Him.
Something to do with his eyelids as well. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
I
it
know.
Lizard lids.
I know. So he pretty much causes suicide for fear what will happen to him if he gets caught. And this is where we come across the origin, where we first begin to meet the villain. And even before Vincent D'Onofrio is torn and having his skin worn as a suit, he's a fucking asshole already. He's treating his wife like shit.
It's such a great scene.
I know. It's like you would either been too much and not enough. The only thing that holds his weight there is the goddamn truck. And right, he says that the fucking shit.
Just the timing was so much better on the comedy back then too.
yeah, it was.
I know.
Nowadays they would hold it for like
they'd milk
laughter,
it.
or they take it too far, just like Ghostbusters.
I
They'd
know.
say
Like,
it 10 times.
Yeah, exactly.
remember that,
He wouldn't be like, "Oh, figures." He'd be like, "Oh man," you know, and it would just be. There was subtlety that's lost.
Remember in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where Mantis is warning Drax about Egon there. Drax is going, "Oh my god, I told you I don't want to make love with you. I'm just puking at the thought of having sex with you." Right? And I was like, move the fucking film along. Your friend's in danger. And it's really annoying me. Just cut the jokes down a bit.
It's annoying because I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was one of the films that
I
introduced Marvel humor to the Marvel series, and then they started putting it in every single film. And it's like, look, just leave it in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's fine. I don't want people quipping when the world is literally about to end.
Everyone's
don't
not
want
the funny character.
Yeah,
Time
exactly.
and place. There's a time and a place for comedy, and it's as if they don't even understand what the time is and where the place is.
Well, no, I mean, like you say, it's like done by algorithm. It's like done by committee.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we've got to have a joke every 10 minutes. Otherwise,
this is what happens when you take away Final Cut from the director. Ultimately, the director and the editor, they know best, not executives.
Yeah, every film seems to feel like a director's cut instead of an actual fucking properly paced, well edited film now. It's fucking stupid now. Come. Keep things coherent. If the film has to have a bit of a pace, tighten the script. If you want it to be a bit of a slow build, a bit more tension building, okay, let that tension build, but you still got to trim the fat.
Yeah, you have to kill your darlings, and unfortunately, a lot of films don't do that these days. And there is so much, especially if the film's over 2 hours. I'm always like, look, you could have easily lost 10, 15 minutes off of this, and you'd have a tighter, leaner narrative.
What is it? George Lucas describes it as. Excuse me. George Lucas describes, editing some of these scenes out of the movie as of cutting off the fingers of your favorite child.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do it, but you've got to do it for the good of whatever. So and it doesn't happen enough these days. I've lost count of the amount of films I've seen this year alone, and I'm just like, yeah, you should have taken 15, 20 minutes off that film, and you would have a better film. But it's just one of those things. But his truck's completely obliterated.
I know.
He's still with us.
He gets a pretty fucking good death as well. It's pretty, and it's all off screen as well. You just hear the sounds, and I love this bit. It's like, if you take my weapon when you pry for my cold dead thing, your proposal is acceptable. He just brings it right to the fucking crater, and oh god, it's really fucking gruesome. You just hear all the sound of tearing, and you see the skin just fucking flail out the top, and it's the way the fingers just jiggle about as well when he drags it down. It's like, oh my god,
probably quite scary for a kid. I presume this was a PG when it came out. Yeah,
it was a PG. It's a PG. Yeah, there were some moments that fucked me up in this film, but I always came back to it. Bloody hell.
How old were you when this came out, Luke?
I think I was about 8. I was almost 9. I was nearly 9.
Yeah, I was 30.
Yeah, I know. I was But, yeah, every
I always said how old I was. I'm not repeating it.
No. What's this at school as well? For holidays, you know, they would put it on for us to watch, and yeah, I don't think teachers realised how fucked up this film was, but it doesn't matter anyway. We loved it.
Yeah, but again, kids could handle stuff like that back then as well.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays there's no real resilience to that kind of stuff because they're all mollycoddled and shielded from anything. So
I think that's the trouble with the sequels as well. The sequels seemed a bit too safe compared to this one.
Oh God, yeah. No, the second one went proper. I mean, those stupid worms. I was so sick of them by the end of that fucking film.
Yeah, this felt like
that's why
the kids.
They just, yeah, exactly. They just overplayed everything apart from the good stuff. Annoyingly.
I know. But the makeup is brilliant as well. He really does look like he's trying to fit in that fucking human suit.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, if you take this and then take Kingpin and say, yeah, that's the same dude. It's like, what?
Yeah, I had no idea until quite recently that Vincent D'Onofrio was in so many things in my childhood.
Yeah.
You never noticed.
Yeah, never had any idea.
But yeah, then he comes in, he asks for sugar water? Yeah, sugar water.
Lots of sugar.
Yeah.
More.
He pulls his face back and everything.
Yeah.
It was so quick though too.
Back. I know.
That
image has haunted me since I was a kid.
What does he say? Is this better? He just pulls his face up.
Yeah, she's like, here's your face. It's peeling off or something.
Is that better?
My God, that's
Oh, that's all to look at. It's
that's what I look like on a morning.
It just reminds me of that scene in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But it just shows that you got someone who's he's definitely not someone you want to the last person you want to see in this film throughout the film, but you're going to be stuck with him a lot because he is both intimidating and very funny at the same time.
Yeah.
It's got a perfect balance between menace and absurd humour.
The whole idea is to show that he is just wearing, like she says, an Edgar suit. You know, we don't know what's under there really because we've not had any sign of it.
It does bring a bit of mystery as well in there. Honestly, I think he's scary before he takes the suit off.
I love it when he tries to fit this flying saucer in the back of the van.
Yeah, does later as well. Yeah, this is the scene where the cops are giving him shit. He's trying to tell them what happened there. They just think he's fucking crazy there. It's not going well for him. Even this fat cop is like, well, I never saw anything, and it's like, yeah, because you're a fat fuck, I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
And I like this bit. I like the bit where he's like, just ease up out of my face, and it's a nice little moment that comes across later on in the film to a pretty fucking good. But obviously, we meet what's her name? Linda Fiorentino.
Is that Linda Fiorentino?
That's the one.
What's she doing in the police?
Yeah.
Why is she in the police station?
Well, she works at the morgue, doesn't she? And she believes she's already seen the body that is seen, but unfortunately it doesn't work out because Kate pops up and fucking black her memory. So obviously he knows that. Because these guys monitor the fucking morgues out. If something abnormal comes up, they're going to be on it and they're going to find out what's happened. So yeah, he asks him, "Okay, so what did he say? The well's going to win." Did he say when? Do you identify the weapon? It's like, yeah, I could. But, okay, well, show me where the weapon is. I can't. I got fucking paperwork to fill out. And then this guy pops off like, saying, hey, good work. It's all done. Nice one.
Yeah.
Once it gives you a bit more information about the kind of people that Jay works with as well there. Because they get shit done if they need it doing. It seems like the only person who can get information on that weird weapon was the bloody Jeeves guy. Will Smith thinks he's just another guy who sells fucking stolen Rolexes and that's it. But so
he's his eyes opened well and truly, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I like when fucking Kay tells him, like, I wait for people that monitor aliens. It's like, yeah, whatever, okay, I'm gonna fucking interrogate this guy, and when I come back, I want some real answers.
That's Tony Shalhoub, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tony Shalhoub, yeah.
Yeah.
That is
There's a lot of people in this.
Yeah, lots of fucking great actors. Tony Brown, all guys from the Addams Family is like, how the fuck did I not notice that?
Did anyone else clock? Did anyone else clock Vern Troyer in this movie?
I
You know, the little guy out of
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Apparently, he's in it as, I think he's billed as Alien Child or Alien Boy or something.
Oh, really? Wow. No. Maybe we'll see him in the screenshots, but no, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, no makeup required.
He's that squid baby that Will Smith helps to live.
Yeah, he's the one that was phoning home in the corner of the room.
Kay tries to interrogate him, it's not working. Kay fucking steps in and saying, just show him the fucking guns. It's like, I don't know what he's talking about. So Kay knows he's fucking bullshit. He's wanting now. He's fucking tell him he's going to blow his head off. Will Smith's character, Jay thinks he's pissing about. He's just playing the bad cop, good cop kind of thing. But no, he does blast it off. And Jay nearly fucking does Kay for him. That's always his head grows back. And he obviously doesn't like it when his head blows off. He's saying, that stings. So, like, yeah. You can sort of see why he was avoiding trying to get his head blown off in the first place. But in the end, he does comply. He shows him the weapon. And he identified it.
Yeah, did he say something like, I'll shoot you where it doesn't grow back? I'm pretty sure he said that line.
Yes. So we found out that the guy as well that Will was chasing was something called a cephalopod or something like that. And the weapon was...
My God, you might want to look out the window and see if the apocalypse is actually happening above your house, or aliens are landing or something, because your signal is all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Is it all right on the phone though? That's what I'm using right now.
No, it's just all crackly and you're not cutting out exactly, but it's just, it's like static.
Yeah.
One of those days, a fucking signal is just fucking shit today. There's nothing I can do. It's probably not so bad, is it?
I mean, it was kind of better on the computer because you might cut out, but at least when you were on, it was clear.
Can you not use the hotspot on your mobile?
Oh, for the computer.
Yeah, connect it to your laptop and run it through 4G.
Right.
Might work. Rather than use if your home network's like really severe.
Yeah, it's weird because normally you're really good. Have you tried, and just forgive me for this, but have you tried turning the modem on, off and on again? The actual internet connection, not your computer.
Well, if I do that, the whole thing, that means I'll probably have to wait for 5 minutes, and it could.
What, the stream? We'd lose the stream, would we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pain in the ass. One of us might become the new host.
I know, it's just one of those days, so I just got to power through it as much as I can, and hopefully it won't do it.
So yeah, his head's been blown off, he's grown back, and now we're about to see the real guns.
I like how there really isn't much time wasted in this movie at all, though. We just kind of, it's very, like you said before, it's very condensed. It does everything that it wants to accomplish. It doesn't linger. The jokes don't go on forever. It just moves at a very great pace, and today's cinema doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's a really, really good point, because I think this is one of those films, and as you say, they're very, very rare these days, that you don't have kind of over exposition. The story is should serve to be expository, and in this case it really is. The story is kind of explaining the kind of world that we need to become familiar with in a real way, rather than someone standing there and explaining to. I mean, okay, we do get levels of exposition with between K and J, but it's not something that we really notice.
Yeah, but when it comes to the actual character development, that's all done through clever dialogue.
Yeah.
The script is really good at that. No stage does anybody turn around and go blah 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 and tell us stuff that we know or that the character already knows, which again is something that happens so often in the Acolyte that I lost count. So much of the Acolyte is fixed if the characters literally just talk to each other.
It's just exposition dump constantly.
Constantly.
The big difference between dialogue and just words.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dialogue and your script should always be used to inform. You know, whether you're informing somebody about the character, whether you're informing somebody about the plot.
Yeah.
The only exceptions that I have, and even then I think they do inform you something about the character, is something like Quentin Tarantino, where the dialogue becomes a very necessary part of the film.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily inform you anything. Like the conversation about quarter pounders with cheese doesn't really do anything for the film, but it's a very Tarantino thing that you let go because it adds something to his movies because he does it that well. I think.
Yeah, and I also I do think that those kind of those strange little quirky conversations that the characters have really do kind of inform you of what the character is like. You know, the kind of things that are going through their heads, and you know, the kind of
the characters seem more real, much more real.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like when you talk about the foot massages as well, and
that's so great.
It's not a big deal. It's like, yeah, why it's a big deal? I mean, he gave her a foot massage and he threw him out the window. You know, I don't blame him for it. It's like, he overreacted. What are you on about? Like, you've seen two different points of view from these characters, and it shows just how different they are. And it's for a much more natural kind of way instead of just feeling like characters in the film.
Yeah, so it's not really telling you anything about the characters themselves, but it's making the character relationship seem more genuine, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, that's it.
This is good as well because we're seeing Will Smith introduced a little bit more into this fucking weird world that he's about to get thrust in.
This is it. He has absolutely no idea at the moment, and he likes to think he's this, streetwise guy who can handle anything. And it's like,
I know. And he's just processing it all as well. He's just seeing a fucking alien. Whose eyes are like gills that blinked real weird, and he had a weird alien weapon. He's seen a guy with his head blown off and he's run back, and he's starting to believe like, this guy really has been monitoring aliens, and he's just doesn't know how to take it. So just Kado, he fucking erases his memory for a little bit just to sort of stop him from going nuts, calm him down a bit.
I never knew why he did that.
Yeah, I think because he was because I think he just wanted it to keep him half an hour, and he still wanted to recruit him because he still gives him the card and tells him to come to the headquarters. Doesn't he?
Yeah. I think he kind of wants to see Jay as Jay is, and not Jay who knows there's aliens. If you know what I mean. I think he wants to get more of his measure.
That's a good point as well. Yeah, and once again. And this is where, obviously, Vincent D'Onofrio has found a way to get his spaceship from A to Z now, because this guy's obviously been hired by the guy who is taking the form to fucking exterminate all these bloody cockroaches that are in there, and obviously he fucking doesn't like it because we don't know he's a cockroach yet, but we know he's pissed off that he's cockroaches, and I know. Just the way he reacts when the guy goes, I'm taking care of your pest control problem. It's like, pest control? Pests?
Fun thing, you see that exterminator guy? He's the same one who plays the Blue Barber in their Star Trek Next Generation.
Really?
Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
I think I know what you mean now.
Ken Forley.
They get a lot of good actors in here that you never knew. That you don't.
I mean, there's so many roles that people get that you just, you never see them. And the amount of times I see a film and it's something I've never seen, and I'm like, oh Christ, that guy's in it, and that guy's, how have I never seen this film? And
it does make me laugh that the guy who's there to fucking exterminate fucking bugs gets killed by a fucking bug. And it's a pretty horrible death as well. He gets that thing shoved all the way down into his throat. It's got all these gas.
That's what I'm saying. This film is, I mean,
it's hardcore.
Yeah, it's PG. I mean,
it's pretty rough.
This had got a 12. I really wouldn't have been. So
Same, mate.
Probably would have got a 12 now these days, or 15. But come on, there.
no, I wouldn't get 15. 12A maybe.
Again, you need to freak kids out a little bit, though, don't you? It's sort of toughens them up a little bit.
It's never gory, is it? It's body violence without any blood. So I think you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it when he tries to roll his ship in there.
Yeah, because the worst killings are all off screen anyway. It's like they let your imagination build up the fucking horrific violence.
Yeah, and even then, it's comic book level stuff. I
know. But we still get a bit of dark humour as well. He can't fit his ship into the fucking sand.
So you just roll it in there, and then you see a solution later, and it's just.
I know. So once again, we're seeing he's no one to be fucked with, but at the same time, he's kind of a bit of an idiot as well, isn't he? But a little bit of trivia as well. Vincent D'Onofrio actually wore braces and taped his fucking knees to make his walk look a little bit more awkward. And
oh really? That's cool. Nothing acting for you. Still, you wouldn't expect anything less from the guy that was in Full Metal Jacket. So
yeah, that's another one that I did.
Oh, shut up!
Okay, no more references to it.
I love that guy.
You know what I'm wondering now? I've picked 4 films to do for September, and I'm wondering if you're going to be associated with any of those. I'll laugh. I will laugh a lot.
Just email him your Internet Movie Database. We'll try and confirm that. We'll try and confirm which ones. But this is a good scene as well. It shows a little bit more about Jay and how much Kay sees potential in him compared to the others. Because
yes, and it shows Jay's out of the box thinking as well. The fact that he's not military, he's not confined to these rigid rules. He can think outside the box. And therefore, he can probably adapt to, because these guys are all like Marines and shit. They probably be brilliant.
And they kind of sort of very narrow-minded, and they're quick to follow orders without even questioning anything. A bit too much.
Yeah, and that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody who can work, with their own initiative and stuff. So.
Yeah, I think Ken probably is looking for something more like that. He trusts Kay. Okay, we'll take this kid on. Just hope you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Does Kay ever tell him why he picked him?
Men in Black 3, you would find out why. In this, you have no idea at all. You literally have no idea.
Yeah, and I always thought that was a bit of a retcon as well, because he kind of gives a little bit of a reason here later on after the tie with the cardboard aliens scene.
It's one of the big dangers doing prequels, isn't it? That you're adding a perspective to something that doesn't necessarily need to be there, and it's going to automatically skew the perspective of when you then watch that later work later on, if you know what I mean. So, in that way, it's not always a good thing at all.
This guy gives a really military answer to everything.
They're looking for the best of the best of the best,
sir.
And then Will Smith, Jay just completely mocks him. He's like, he's got absolutely no. He's so excited, he's got no idea why we're here.
Yeah, because he has no idea why they're
there. No, they don't. They're following orders. They're following orders. They've been probably told by the superior officer, you've been selected for some special program, and that's it. And this is what Men in Black doesn't want drones. It doesn't want machines. It doesn't really want soldiers. It wants agents. And there's a big difference between those.
And we see that as well later with the exam papers, because they're sitting in these really uncomfortable seats here. And every time they fill out something, it's not going right. I know.
Yeah. And Dave's the only one who has that. This is the thing, they're so blinkered in their training that it just doesn't occur to them to get the table.
Yeah, and I think that's why Kay also likes Jay as well, because when he makes that remark, he's laughing his ass off.
Yeah. He already knows he's going to be the one.
I know, and they don't even think to get the table. They just fucking sit comfortably and make it harder for themselves to
start crossing their knees and stuff like that. There's some great comedy here. There really is.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the analogy where everybody is trying to eat soup with a fork until one person decides you know what? I'm going to use the spoon. He's like, yeah, but we're ordered not to use the spoon. He's like, well, I need the spoon because the fork isn't working.
Yeah. It was like later when he shoots the little girl, isn't it? It's just,
Yeah. So because he's not just a guy just running in and shooting. He's actually thinking for himself as well.
Yeah.
He's using he's using what common sense he can. And it's all just by looking at these cardboards of aliens, and he's thinking, all right, they may look mean, but I can see why they're looking a little bit aggravated. They're harmless. But why is little Tiffany, a white girl in the ghetto, got fucking quantum physics books? It's something's up there.
Yeah.
Plus, there's
I think
it kind of between them very well. Sorry.
I think it kind of illustrates that in this world there is no hard and fast rule book. There's no rule book to go by. It's very much acting on your own initiative, regardless of what you're being told to do.
Using your street smarts is what's going to get you through.
Yeah, because like you said, he thinks outside the box. He's not a military man, but he is tough. He's capable in a very heated environment when he needs to be. And it's still a very funny scene as well. It's like the fact that he's just getting to all these conclusions as well. Hey, I was trying to put this guy on the street lamp, and I realised he's working out. He's just working out, isn't he? Now I was going to get this snarling guy. Yeah. Yeah, it's just working out. I wouldn't like it if someone was trying to pop my ass while I'm on the treadmill. I got this snarly guy, but he's just got a cold. Come on, man. What the fuck she got with those books, man? She's up to something. And even M's almost smiling a little bit there. And I love the little bit where he goes, "Here's a good shot, though, right?" Those guys just look at him and have this fucking smile as if to say, "Oh yeah, sure, you're gonna get through. Yeah, right." But yeah, this seems to be the reason why he picks Jay, because the guy chased down earlier was a tough guy to even chase down in the first place, and Jay was probably one of the only few people who could do that. Hey, what's going on back there? You're not moving the dead body, are you? Hello?
And I can't
Yeah, we're still here.
Strictly
no. Yeah, no, I thought he was moving the dead body there, rolling it up in a rug.
Stupid fucking keto.
Yeah, he was on about that.
Mate, it's harsh for the first week, and then after that, it's fine. The benefits outweigh the short term.
Yeah, cutting sugar down a little bit has been a bit hard. I think I might just have one little bit of sugary product, and that's it, and then drink a lot of water after that, or maybe a bit of juice. Normal juice if I can. Yeah,
water's all good. Yeah, I mean, keto is just basically low carbs, loads of fat, trick your body into processing fat rather than carbs, and
it's all the saturated fats, the trans fats that's bad for you. Natural fats is good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, healthy fats is fine. Yeah. So yeah, they like put all the guns on the table and come through, and then you neuralise a lot of them. So
yeah, they're all going to get their fucking minds blanked, and this is where we get a bit more exposition in how the MIB whole MIB thing was formed. And it turns out Kay was just a fucking guy who was put in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he ended up getting involved in it. He was just a dumb kid, had flowers for his date, and he got involved in this shit. And it also reveals that he bumped into a bunch of Secret Service men who were trying to make contact with aliens, and they finally did, and he was there by accident. And it turns out this exhibition at the welfare is the fucking cool. These are actual spaceships.
Is that the same thing that was used in the Iron Man thing, that giant globe thing? Is it the same place, or is it meant to be, or is it something completely different?
I think it is, because it is set in New York, isn't it? No. Is it? No. I think Iron Man's set in LA, isn't it? I have
no idea. Malibu, I think.
No. Iron Man's in New York.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right then.
But yeah, those buildings I know are in New York.
Yeah, because Will Smith has his memory blanked. He thinks he's crazy. Like, you ever felt like getting it's like, oh yeah, just less more, go for my procedure. Once again, you're seeing a little bit more information of how MIB works and what its procedures are, and it's you're getting information naturally through exposition, naturally through the characters, because it's he has to explain this to him because he wants.
This is where you get the really cool look for MIB as well, because MIB is very, very retro futuristic.
It is.
Like if you look at all of this stuff, we've got like really old kettles, old style microwaves, and all that kind of stuff. But they're also rocking the most advanced science tech in the world. I
always like that. I always like it when really old looking technology is kind of more advanced as well at the same time. That's why I like about the technology.
Even in the chairs that the Marines were sitting in, those are like old 60s style chairs, you know. So
because you've seen them in those old sci-fis from the 50s, haven't you? The chairs like that look like
exactly. Jay's just completely
yeah, because he's used to it, isn't he? And Jay's like, fuck. But this is where we start to see Kate say, this is a very serious life, you know, but, you know, this will take a lot of thinking before you make this decision, because if you do choose to do it, that means you can never see any of your family again, anybody you've ever loved or cared for. You will have to sever any ties between them from now on. And he's like, why does it cover up? You know, people are smart, they can handle it. It's like, a person is smart, but people are dumb, panicking animals, and you know it.
Exactly that. Great line.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did this, like they did this again today, and they told him, "Hey, you have to give up your entire family." It's like, wow, leave my wife, sign me up. He runs.
Just roll the credits.
Yeah.
And the scene's not on too long, but it's paced just right, you know. Really
it doesn't linger. It does what it needs to do, and it moves on. And you get this great scene with Kay walking off, you know.
And and it's like, is it worth it? Of course, if you're strong enough.
Yeah.
I love the way he just turns and delivers that line. Oh yeah, that's
so great.
Yeah. Just like
so
matter of fact, doesn't even think twice about it. He just knows that it's worth what they're doing is worth the sacrifice, because they're obviously saving the world or looking after the world.
Well, as I say, it's Secrets of the Universe, isn't it? So,
great. Thanks for joining us. Rest in peace, Rip Torn. Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was great in this. Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, he's got that.
Again,
cool
another nice little dynamic, because it's almost like when we were talking about Eddie Murphy with like the Black Police Chief, and it's like a more chilled version of that, I guess.
Yeah, no, he's like he's very serious. He doesn't seem too. It's very laid back and a bit more cool. Like.
Yeah. He's sort of like grumpy, but not angry, if that makes sense.
No. Now we're seeing obviously cockroaches entered New York now. So things are shit's gonna go down. You know it. Now Wilson, obviously Jay's decided, I'm in. Okay. You obviously want me for my skills, and I don't want you to call me Sport, not Slick or anything. He's like, whatever you say, Slick. And this is where we see the actual.
Thinks he's ready.
Vern.
Yeah, there's Lech. This is where we do see how. Yeah.
Vern Troyer.
Star Trek.
I think Vern Troyer is. Yeah, I think.
Yes, that could be Vern Troy.
Alien Son. He's billed as.
Yeah, that could be him.
Yeah. It's definitely not the one to the right. That's
it's horrible to say, isn't it? No, he's too tall.
Slightly too tall. Sorry, lad.
Well, this is where we actually see that MIB headquarters now, where the monster aliens and the taking aliens that come to live on Earth, a planet that's pretty much gone to shit, or they don't have a planet no more. And it's very much like how immigration should be working a bit more these days. It's
that's it. It's a whole allegory behind it, isn't it? It's basically Men in Black is the immigration department. Is it ICE? Is it ICE? It's called
maybe like that.
You know, because they chase down the ones that go awry and stuff like that. So.
And but we find out more information, like how they're funded. Is like, all the things that we took from salvage from other alien ships have become our technology, like Velcro, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. So they're making tons of money off everyday stuff that we use. So under the
patents and stuff like that. Yeah.
And it's very cool way to make sure these characters the company is well funded, so they can have some cool fucking gadgets later on. It's
But again, you'd think it was like a throwaway line, but it's a good little bit of world building because you would wonder, how do you afford all this shit? It's like Bruce Wayne. How does Bruce Wayne afford? Batman afford all this shit? He's a billionaire. Ah, right, cool, okay, makes sense. How does he get it without people realizing? And then you've got that great bit in Batman Begins where Alfred explains they have to make the cowl in 3 parts and order all the parts in different places.
Order it in fucking bulk as well, don't they? It's like
that's an awesome little line that explains something.
I know. So I like this little thing as well, where we found out a little bit about some aliens that they think our language is that they need a translator as well because they define us as a fucking parasite or infectious, and Kay's like, doesn't that make you proud? And Jay being who he is, he checks one thing and it just causes a lot of fucking carnage. It's just bouncing around, damaging everything. It's probably one of the it's definitely a slapstick scene as well. Yeah, it's very slapsticky, isn't it? As well, he's like, it's causing all this carnage. He's just stood there behind that door, saying, "Oh, whoa, watch out! What you hearing? Oh, damn, man!"
It's some good fish out of water stuff, isn't it? You
know?
know?
Once again, it emphasises the quirky humour a bit more as well than the surrealism of the whole this well. So it turns out it was a big. Apparently, it started a fucking blackout in the 70s. All because some aliens called the Attractors wanted to fucking prank us, troll us. So once again, they're playing with history a little bit as well. Like there's like something in history happened because something secretive happened there, and they're revealing the reason. Well, and we see a bit more as well. The monster aliens, and I love the fact that Sylvester Stallone is an alien.
That's one hell of an end to that line there. Before my idiot sister's drunken birthday cruise. Nice.
I know, and as well, like the fact that Jay had a fucking teacher as well called, and he already knew that she was not from there.
Yeah, I had a teacher like that I thought was slightly alien-esque.
Yeah, we all do as well because because teachers are not like people, are they? Until the fucking bell rings.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got Sylvester Stallone there. You've got who else is in
Jay
there?
Leno, I think, next one.
Yeah, Jay Leno. I know Michael Jackson there as well. He comes back in one of the other films as well.
Yeah,
the second one. Yeah.
Agent M. Yeah, it was a weird cameo as well. Weird cameo as well, and it was just before the all allegations started as well.
It was, yeah. But it really works because let's face it, if there's any bastards on the planet that looks not these days. These days there's fucking hundreds of them, but back in the day, sort of in the 90s, it was it was Wacko Jacko. So
he's from the planet Shamon.
Shamon, motherfucker. I love that fucking Boss Selector, man. Well, Joe, if you've not seen Boss Selector, watch it.
Which one?
Boss Selector.
I'll write that one down.
It's very, very British.
it's one of the worst but funniest Michael Jackson impressions ever.
Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm a bad, invincible motherfucker, Ed, right? Let's put the suit on. The last suit you'll ever wear. And yeah, it's a good little montage where they're burning off his fingerprints, anything that's that can trace him back to them or can...
Yeah. Again, just another nice little detail. You would think like, how do we get rid of your past? We get rid of your fingerprints.
Get rid of everything.
Yeah.
With everything. You don't exist anymore.
All our identities are fucking digital now. It's all fucking online. And
what do they do if they've got agents, more than one agent with the same first name? They're fucked.
Yeah, I know. That's fucking weird. I know.
They neuralize them and give them a different name.
Yeah. What haven't we used yet? X. Okay, your new name's Xavier. Get used to it.
I know. Not like how Will Smith's like, you know what? If I'm going to be in this, I'm going to do it my style. I'll make this look good. Then we got to another scene and we're wondering, who the fuck's this guy with his cap? But obviously it must be important because now fucking it's enough of us there.
Comfortable.
Great physical acting going on there. There really is.
Yeah, because he's trying to fucking struggle in this suit, isn't he? He's just tough. He's trying to make it.
You don't really appreciate it at the time, but there is some great physical acting going on there.
Yeah.
That's what I look like on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
When I was young.
That's what I look like every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Never mind on Wednesday. Thursday. But yeah, he sells it though. You can tell he's trying to get comfortable, and it's just not panning out. He's making himself feel more awkward than ever. And Vincent D'Onofrio just fucking he should have won an Oscar just for this alone.
They offered that part to John Turturro and Bruce Campbell. Luckily, they both turned it down.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine either of those in that role. It would be
possibly
interesting to say.
I think it'll be good, but it won't be the same as Vincent D'Onofrio.
Nah.
I was like,
I'm not sure that Bruce would be able to put the menace across.
He leaned right into that role.
Yes, he's so good.
Low collar. I'm not qualified for super chats yet. I got to get up to 500, and I got to get the watch hours up as well. So if I get up to 500 along with the watch hours by the end of the month, Phil, I'll let you know. Okay.
Come on, Sean.
It's brutal out there. You've just got to keep doing the content, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I know. I've got a review this week. I need to get back on it because there's a lot of I want to watch. A long legs. I was supposed to be doing Cars of Kindness. I have not done it.
I had to skip Cars of Kindness.
I want to cover Kai season 6 as well. So I'm just trying.
I started that last night.
Yeah.
There was more character development and plot in one episode of Cobra Kai than the entire of The Acolyte.
I know. It's an okay series, but it's still fucking well. It's still better than other okay series.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing amazing about it, but it's just it was so nice to watch an episode of TV and actually see character growth and development. I was like, holy fuck, I'd forgotten what this is like.
So it's still fun to watch. The fucking Johnny's still fucking hilarious.
He's great. He's probably my favourite character in it, to be honest. He's almost like he's almost like an anti-hero. Almost. He's not quite there, but he's
yeah. But you can tell there's a redemption in him though. There is a
so much.
He's definitely changed since the second Karate Kid movie. He has really evolved now.
Yeah, no, yes, the character growth's great, especially on his character. And something happens in this one where I would say his arc almost reaches full circle, and it's quite satisfying to see.
I've never seen any of them, but there is one question I would like to ask: is does defeat exist in their dojo?
They have no choice in the end.
No.
Does fear exist in their dojo?
It's a good series. You know what? I mean, it's not like mind-blowing TV or anything like that, but it is a good series with good character development, pretty decent writing, especially for modern day standards. And I'd recommend checking it out. It's not massive. There's not loads of each of it. I think there's like 12 episodes of each season. I'd check it out.
It's not afraid to be cheesy either. I mean, it kind of knows the character.
Oh, it knows what it's doing. Yeah, it absolutely knows what it's doing. Yeah.
Having Terry Silver just become this fucking big Bond villain over a karate.
It does get silly. Yeah, no, it does get silly. Yeah,
I can't enjoy this doing this of it.
It's a good time. It's enjoyable. It's nice to stick something on and just be like, I am being entertained, and I'm not being entertained like a moron. You know, like there's actually good stuff in here as well. So it's kind of impressive how they can take just a few films and make an entire series out of it and dip into all those films as well. You know, like all 3 Karate Kid films. I think there was 3 of them have been featured in various ways with characters in the series, and it's quite impressive.
So, back to this.
I'm getting off track again.
But yeah, good show though. Good show, but yeah. So obviously they've had notifications of an unauthorized landing, which is obviously D'Onofrio's cockroach character, and now it's looking like one guy's trying to escape in the area that he's restricted to without permission. So they got to track down. It's like take your jail on this. This will be a good one for him to warm up. So, and already Will's criticising what they got as well, like the cars really fucking out of date, and
yeah, exactly. It's all sort of retro futuristic chic type thing. But that is the car for Kay. You know that is the car for him.
Yeah, yeah, to him it's a fucking classic. Is you know, sometimes the old way works best, and it's just, and it's still reliable, isn't it? Like
that's it. It just fits his personality. There's nothing fancy about it.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, gets the job done.
Oh yeah,
reliable.
why would I want a new piece of crap that doesn't work for me when something that's a little bit older and may not be as stylish has been very reliable since I've started using it?
And again, it's another thing that informs upon his personality and his character. Whereas when you take it to something like Men in Black International, they were like, oh, what super futuristic looking thing can we squeeze into this? There's no depth like that. So it's another skill that's been lost. The amount of times that in the past we've had a character that is informed by their car. And again, I don't really think you get anything like that these days. I'm trying to think of a modern film where the character and the car were kind of linked to each other. Like you learned something about the character from the car. And I can't really.
It's funny. I did talking about that. I mean, last week with the same crappy blue Chevy Nova that Axel Foley drove.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to think of a modern example. And I'm failing miserably.
No aspect of Kate's personality here as well, because when he tells him to fasten his seatbelt, he doesn't say please, and Jay sort of is telling him, you know, if you said please, be more polite, and it kind of shows Kate has really not been interacting with real people properly for way too long.
Well, you know full well that the previous agent that he worked with, wouldn't have had to been told. Like he would have got in and done
that as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's that as well, because because they probably spent more time talking to each other than they have with everyone else properly. Like they haven't, because they can't interact with the public or anybody else outside of their agency now, can they?
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
It's the life they've chosen. Yeah, and even when he does say please, he says it in his very serious manner. Fasten your seatbelt, please. And instead of putting his seatbelt,
impressive with Josh Brolin in number 3. He nailed Tommy Lee Jones so
he got
well.
it. He's good, man. He's good. He really is.
Yeah, and they're saying Knight Rider, but that's like what, the 90s? And so is Magnum PI in 80s, 90s maybe? I'm trying to think of a modern example.
There really is no iconic car today.
No.
Yeah,
like even Blade back in 98, his Black Charger, you know?
Yeah, that new one's going to be shit. Even the fucking actors seems to want to get the fuck out of there as well, and they've just been out but reshoots, and it's not going to work out well.
He's doing a Jurassic Park
Blade,
right now.
I don't even know if it's being made at the moment. I genuinely don't know if it's going ahead.
He's doing Jurassic Park right now, so everything's on hold.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, that's going to
cost. Blade is already what 6 years old. Crazy.
That's going to cost them more money. They are never going to make that fucking money back. They may as well put it streaming and just take a little bit of a loss there.
Sadly, it's a black Marvel action superhero character. They can't drop it. They've got to make it happen purely from a prestige level. Now the loss of face in letting it fall, especially when they've lost Black Panther, that's probably why they keep going. But whether Marshall Ali will stay in it or not, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that Will Smith hasn't been roped in as a superhero yet, to be honest, because even he would probably be quite good as somebody.
Yeah, good point.
He needs to fucking get his relationship, get his fucking private life sorted. Sorry. But I know
something recently that I saw him in that was good. What the fuck was it?
I don't know. Was it? Bad Boys for Bad Boys. That's actually all right. I actually enjoyed that.
He was right in that.
So he could make a comeback here. It seems to be his comeback because it's done fucking well at the box office.
I think so. I think the slap it's a thing of the past now, and hopefully he can get on with making some stuff. I know he's making a sequel to I Am Legend next, which in my opinion is a terrible idea, but you know,
it's a bad idea.
God, you said alternate ending for that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying the alternate ending would have been better for the film because he finds out that he's the monster, not them. So yeah, but now we come to Vincent D'Onofrio. He's
again more great gurning and facial animations and stuff like that. It's great.
I know, it's just grotesque. He just makes you squirm to look at it.
It's just the way he actually looks like he's unhinging his jaw like a snake.
Yeah,
fucking fantastic.
Yeah, his skin's already decomposing as well. It's not nice to look at. But now we're seeing shots of this cat, and it seems just like a very cute little animal that's there, and that's it. But it turns out these guys are aliens as well, and this guy's like fucking royalty. It's like, Your Majesty, you're in danger. Yeah.
And even though the scene is like maybe 30 seconds long, we get so much out of it, and we know everything that's going on with it.
Yes, this is this is an exposition dump, but again, because it's done through dialogue, it seems necessary rather than one character just sitting to another and then saying all of this information in one go. And it's like, well, that character should already know this, so you're just telling the audience. And if you can't find a better way to do that, you're a bad writer.
Yeah,
being done like this, it works.
It just feels conversational more than expository.
Exactly.
That's how it feels.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do give you a bit of a red herring here as well. Like you see that little container with the jewels. Like, it might mean something, but turns out it's not. Vincent D'Onofrio's character is after something else. We'll call him Edgar anyway, because that's the name of the character where he's killed and having his skin taken. So. And yeah, we get another fucking gruesome death as well. That's totally off screen as well, but it's the aftermath that makes you fucking sweat. It's like, he takes over the job of some guy called Av and is like, where is he? I gave him a brain. God, that is so good as well. It's totally bloodlust, but it's not nice to look at. It really isn't.
That's what I'm saying. It's all body horror, but there's no blood in the entire film.
Yeah. It's like a PG,
apart from
alien
goo, but they can get away with that.
It's almost like sort of cartoon violence, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You can tell it's based on a comic book.
And plus, we find out a little bit more about them, like the royalty to sort of a race called the Aqualians, and they sound like a big deal as well, the way they say it. And it doesn't sound like an exposition dump as well. It seems like natural dialogue that these people would say in this kind of manner. But too late, their dinner is interrupted by Edgar, by the fucking walking Edgar. And
it's the cockroach that gives it away.
Yeah, I know.
But again, look at that expression on his face. It's so good. I've never appreciated it up until now. Now I'm seeing it, I'm just like, man, he's really doing some work there,
I love that. I love the fact that the Aquilian kind of goes out like a boss. It's like, if you kill us, you will. It's like you can kill us, but you will never have the galaxy. So he knows his numbers up, and he's not gonna fucking give him what he wants either way.
Yeah, well, the whole idea is these two races have been at war, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and
I think one of them's almost exterminated the others.
So it's obviously a war because they're obviously willing to blow our planet up just to stop the cockroaches getting the fucking galaxy. That's how fucking bad things have gone just for them.
But again, here, body horror, no blood.
Yeah, I know.
That's how they get away with it.
It's gruesome, but it's not fucking. It's not too traumatizing. It's just that right amount of what the fuck. Nah.
I mean, without it goes without saying that they have trigger warnings all over it these days. But
Oh yeah. Yeah, and this fucking lock as well. Yeah, his knees are all taped up and he's wearing braces, and you can really see he's paying off. It is proper paying off.
I was going to say,
I love it. Now we come to the guy who's trying to escape, and they're obviously wondering, okay, why are you trying to escape? It's like, well, it's my wife, look, and she's about to fucking give birth, but Kay's not buying. That's the only reason.
This is great as well.
He goes to question him while he has to deal with this fucking.
He's like, you're doing great, Slick.
The thing is, he's played serious as well. He's actually questioning him like a real fucking agent as well. Well, this
is it. This is what I'm saying. They are the immigration agents. They are. I'm sure they're called ICE.
Yeah, it probably is. I won't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I'm sure that's what the actual immigration agents are called, ICE. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, that's what they are. That's why the whole bit at the beginning with the immigration works so well. But
I know, yeah, it's good way to get a bit of it's good way to get a bit of exposition out as well without boring the audience. He's telling him he's not telling him why he's leaving as well because he's scared, and you're getting that, but at the same time you're getting this very funny scene as well that's stopping the film from dragging into
Yes,
much,
yes. Well, this is it. I mean,
fine.
you've got the two sides, haven't you? And he's questioning the guy who's running away, and you're getting some more story. He's leaving because he knows it's all about to go down. You know,
I know it's well shot as well. It's like they're in this.
I've just noticed the fucking Twin Towers in the background. I'm a little bit sad
oh,
now.
shit.
They'll be there for another 4 years.
Yeah, fucking 20. Yeah, over 20 years now since that happened. Yeah. Damn, that makes that scene a bit more depressing now. It does.
Yeah, no, it does. I'm like, fucking hell. Because I remember where I was the day it happened.
Back to less depressing angles. Yeah, he finally gets the fucking story out.
What right up Will Smith's crotch? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is physical. This isn't CGI.
I know, and it's brilliant. That's Rick Baker's fucking genius.
Yeah, Rick Baker, he's the man. He really is. As I say, I would say second only to Stan Winston. But obviously, the inside man would know. So
I know. The thing is, it used to make me squirm a little bit as a kid, but for some reason, I started when the more I watched it, I'm thinking, all right, that's actually kind of cool. It's not so bad.
They've done a good job of. I mean, like Disney would be selling dolls of that right now.
Oh, absolutely. They would base everything around that.
It's like Baby Yoda before Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
I don't think there's slime all over it as well, which makes it. If you're gonna have latex, make sure there's a lot of slime on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Rick Baker at this point has been doing it for fucking ages. So didn't he do the special effects on Batman as well?
I don't know.
No, that was my friend. Oh God, what's his name? Who did Yoda for episode 1? Oh Christ, I can't remember his name.
I'm trying to remember it myself.
Oh, it'll come back to me. It'll come to me.
We'll try and look up after maybe in the after conversation. We'll have a little banter on that.
But yeah, congratulations. It's a
squid. Yeah, he's just playing it serious, like he's actually seeing a real baby come out of the woman, and Will Smith's just still wondering what the fuck is happening. It's just that look on his face where he's covered in that fucking squid puke, and he's still on the job though. He's wondering, okay, why the hell is he risking his newborn baby to get fucking arrested? You know, something's up, and it's not good, and I don't like it. And this is how they found out the information: supermarket tabloids, just all this fucking sensationalized shit, and it actually ends up being accurate compared to mainstream media, which is almost kind of becoming a bit more true these days.
That's what I love about it, how it kind of says, okay, here are all the conspiracy theories, but everything is true.
Yeah, I love
it's just society gaslighting you that you're wrong, but yes, everything is 100% true in this.
Yeah, that's it. It's like the whole National Enquirer thing, isn't it? You know, it's
Yeah, this is how you get your information. The greatest journalist ever, my friend. Good try, New York Times. They get lucky sometimes. And yeah, that's kind of more true to New York Times because they seem to be fucking faker than ever these days. But now they found out but now they found out a lead on what's happening. They can get more information on what's going on, so they can track down and stop what is happening. And I just love the wife's reaction. She's real skeptical. She's like, "Are you here to make fun of me?" It's like, "Oh, we're the FBI. We do not have a sense of humor."
Yeah.
Would you like some lemonade?
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
Yes, please. It's like a big kid, isn't it?
He's not totally socially removed. He's
No.
He's putting on an act here, though, isn't he? He's just doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
oh yeah. He's got
getting information out of people mode.
I like Will Smith's reaction to when he drinks the lemonade, though.
Yeah,
that's absolutely gotting.
This is where the dude found out all the information as well, and this is where they finally put the pieces together and found out what it is they're up against.
This is it. This is the investigative part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is a good little moment as well because now we know Will Smith can identify Edgar when they see him. Yeah, it's like, was a dude this ugly before he was an alien? So now they've got all the information they need from it, all the information they are going to get from it, and they erase her memory.
Give her a nice happy memory.
Yeah, he's saying, there was no alien. It was like this thermal thing with the swamp gas and blah, blah. And this is where Jay learns about the Neuralizer family. It's like, oh, so this is what happened. You flash that thing, erase the memory, and you build up a new one. And that's the lame ass fucking memory you're going to give it. It's like, okay, your boyfriend ran off with another woman. You're going to stay with your mum for a couple of days inside. You better off. And I love how Jay just kind of builds up even more. Like he's like an improv. He's like he's a kid in an improv group, isn't he? He's like, yeah, you know what? He never cared for you. You threw him out. Now you can go out and get some dresses, look all nice, and get a redecorator, man. Because damn. And that blank look at that face
twice
as well.
in the space of about 15 seconds. She's completely fried.
That look on her face as well, where she just blinks, it just fucking cracks me up.
Oh God!
Yeah, probably one of the best fucking screenshots I got of it there.
Oh man, yeah, that should have gone on the thumbnail.
And I like how Kate already knows that thing's going to be fucking green. You know, he's hoping it isn't, but too late, it's green. So now he knows that they're after a big bug as well, and from the information, he knows it's a big fucking cockroach, and this is not fucking good. If he's in the city now, people are getting fucking knocked off already.
Yeah, well, he knows this is the kind of thing that only happens when shit's really going down. Like, this is no longer a simple investigation. This is no longer a simple case. This is like, oh shit.
I know, and he does look a little bit scared as well. I mean, when he says that, does it sound like fun? It's like, yeah, he's scared and he's trying to sort of like cover it a little bit because you go. And I forgot the name of that character here. I don't know if you're into in Men in Black, but yeah.
She's called Laurel. Laurel,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she very sadly gets wasted in the sequel because she's not even in the sequel. And I was really excited to sort of see her in it, but yeah, it never happened. They just fucking fire her off screen and then that's it. You know, a character's never seen again.
I don't think they had a plan for her in the sequel. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. As I say, I doubt very much they had a sequel in development. So when the sequel went through, it's probably like, look, we just get Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones and Rip Torn back, and that's all we need to do, kind of thing. So.
I know. So we get a bit more about her character as well, and obviously she's someone who's been stuck in this. She's like this person that fucking lives here. She lives in her own fucking office. She doesn't look like she has a social life either. But now she knows something's up as well. She's been fucking cutting the body up, and she's not finding anything normal. No,
she's not a mortician. She's not a mortician, is she? She's like a forensic something, isn't she?
Yeah, something like that.
A doctor, yeah. She's a deputy medical examiner.
Yeah.
But she looks like she works alone a lot as well. She's like I said, she does not look like she has a social life or anything. She's stuck in this job, and she seems to be a very lonely person. I love this little bit where she's recording saying,
I mean, you feel the takeaway cups on the fucking desk.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, come on. All that information as well on the screen. You know, nothing is said.
Never even noticed that until now.
It does
one of the reasons why I love Longlegs so much is because every single thing in the frame is deliberate.
Absolutely. I need to watch it.
We spoke about that last week about the mise en scène. Everything that's put in the scene is there to tell us, to make up the story.
That's it.
Drive the narrative forward. Hello.
Yeah, nice to have you with us. Nice to have you with us. And she makes this little comment like she tried to study him rectally as well, but the guy had no rectum.
He was having none of it. Literally.
But now they've made it now, so we know. So yeah, obviously they're here to find out, and it's looking like yeah.
I love the way Kay introduces each other. How they introduce them.
Yeah, and she kind of fights with him a little bit, doesn't she? So,
more slick dialogue, moves it along at a pace, nothing drags.
There's a good little moment where we see him being a bit more human amongst normal people, you know. Even
the scene does exactly what it needs to do.
Yeah, it does as well. We get to know our character a little bit more as well, and
exactly.
Yeah, it's worth guy's. Yeah, he noticed this guy from earlier in the fucking place, and
not hard to
well,
recognise.
I know.
No, he got so much work just based on the way he looks.
Yeah, no, he's in a lot of these Mike Flanagan horrors as well. He's in I think is it Walt Flanagan, Mike Flanagan. He's in one of them.
Mike Flanagan, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Gerald's Game, Lords. He's in Doctor Sleep. He's
Say another dude who turned up in Star Trek more than once.
Yeah, I think he was like the servant guy, wasn't he, for
One of Troy's
mother?
Yeah. Mr. Hom.
Then I found out this guy is not a guy. He's actually a fucking he's like this fucking controlled android powered by an alien inside his head, and I don't know how he's dying here because
I presume it's the atmosphere, or has he been poisoned or something?
I don't know. It's like he stabbed the guy in the neck, didn't he? And I don't know how he's dying here. Did he shut something down that was killing maybe the atmosphere that was breathing, like he suggested? I don't know. And he's struggling, and he's obviously struggling to tell him how they can tackle this cockroach as well, and tell him what they can do, because he knows that the Archelians are gonna want blood as well after all this. So the only way they're gonna stop this war from the air from getting destroyed is to find the galaxy.
And again, this is a great bit of physical effects work as well.
It is as well, and and I'm guessing that was a little bit bigger as well. While the other thing was. I think they did two as well. One small, one big.
Yes, I think it's both. Yeah, they normally do.
A bigger one for this shot, and then when it comes to outside of the, where you see the open head full frame, then it's a smaller one.
Yeah, more great animatronic work by Rick Baker.
Yeah, and he tells him that the galaxy is on Orion's belt, and he dies, and everyone's puzzled by what's happening.
Well, I don't think he says belt, does he? He says b, and then Jay assumes it's belt, I think. It's been a while.
Yeah, he says belt. He says belt, but he does say yes, and then dies.
Okay.
So he calls Kay over, calls him Doctor whatever, because it's like, I forgot the fucking story already. I forgot already.
Just a little hint of Jay's, newbiness.
And Kay's like, this is not fucking good. This guy was royalty. This is going to cause a fucking shitstorm. And it's like, well, it makes no fucking sense. And all right, we'll ask her. And he's already fucking blanked by the end.
That's it. And they start talking about it again.
And she's obviously forgotten because she's like, who are you guys? Show me some ideas. Like, just look at this, please. He fucking blanks her again. And it kind of goes to show that Jay's, he's still not totally removed humanity so much just yet, because he's seen the fact that he's just blanked her twice. He's like, isn't this going to cause consequences if you keep fucking up this girl's brain? And Jay's like, well, it's never hurt before, and that's kind of set Jay off a little bit as well. I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean fucking never hurt before? How many times have you fucking flashed this poor woman? Have you done it to me? Like, no kidding around. Have you done it to me? So now we once again, Dash Control's fucking come in. He's told them that okay,
clean up
a new memory. And we need to clear up all the dead bodies and give a new memory and make it a happy memory. Yeah, I like the fact that he never thinks about that until Jay looks at him as well, and it's like. Yeah, it's like he's kind of reminding him a bit of human consideration or courtesy, common courtesy.
Yeah, I mean, again, looking at the character dynamic, Kay's been doing this for so long that, as you say, he's going to have lost part of his humanity by the fact that he doesn't interact with other normal people. He's only been interacting with agents, and he's only been interacting with aliens. So what Jay represents to Kay is recovering a little bit of that humanity, especially as Kay knows that he'll be going back soon because he's retiring.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and I think it does. I think
dynamic is built through, not doing an awful lot, which is very clever.
I know. It's a clever fucking movie. It's got an insane premise, but it handles it in a very smart way.
Yeah, it's got depth to it, which is why these kind of things endure.
Once again, we're getting that bad temper from Edgar as well. He's just he thinks it's the galaxy, but it turns out to be fucking nothing. It's just a load of diamonds.
Yeah. Well, on the
Once
Men in
again-
Black side, it's time. Like, this is the other thing about the film is the film is escalating now, so the stakes have increased a lot. So you're going to see where you've had quite a meandering pace before this. You're going to see it start to pick up quite a bit now.
Yeah,
as
because
things
shit's
become
really
more
happening.
urgent.
I know. Think a war's about to grow, and we're going to suffer the consequences for it. And I think it is sort of like making Jay reflect a little bit on his past.
It's a noticeable turning point in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think that's what encourages him to sort of like search for a high school crush who he never had that fucking life with that he could have had.
Yeah. And again, you get the feeling this is obviously something that he has done before, but now it's having a new meaning to him. You know, he's going to be leaving this world behind. He's going to be going back to that life that he never had. So it's got an added relevance to it. And I've just noticed that cup that Jay's holding is exactly the same cups that are on Lauren's desk.
Yes, they are.
That's not so bad. That nice little detail there.
Again, this is what makes a great film. Is all these little details that whoever it is, the director or the producer or whatever, puts in. It's all there for a reason. Nothing's just chucked in, and you don't often see it in new Hollywood movies, which is why I was so blown away by Longlegs.
Yeah. Plus, it seems like working in this fucking environment seems to be pretty fucking ruthless as well, because he's making his comment about doesn't people sleep around here. It's like, you'll get through in the next first 6 hours. You get used to it, unless you go insane. And once again, it shows the harsh life that they have to live, but at the same time brings a bit of a dark sense of humor as well.
Well, we don't get to see it here, but you've got to imagine a job like this, a organization like this, would actually have quite a high turnover rate, both for agents potentially getting killed and also just like not being up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd imagine there's only so much you could learn before your mind just goes, fuck this, and just snaps, But we obviously don't get to see that part of it. But you would think that it would have to be the case.
Yeah, and
certainly lose a lot by neuralizing them.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's it. You have to neuralize them and put them back in the streets. It's like, okay, yeah, good luck. You didn't quite make it. Never mind.
Yeah. Plus, it's like sometimes they give them back a new life as well, or the old life. But I'm guessing it's mostly the new life more, isn't it? Because I guess it
depends how long you've been in and stuff like that. As I say, these are things that aren't really explored in the film, but they're kind of fun to speculate on.
Yeah, and I think that's why we don't need the sequels. We just let the audience come to their own conclusions a little bit, because the second
there's a lot to be said about that as well, isn't there? Let's be honest. There's some mysteries that should never ever be explained, like how Han Solo got his name.
Yeah, no, we don't need to know that. I don't need to know how Han Solo met fucking Chewbacca anyway.
The laziest piece of shit.
I actually physically fucking face palmed. I really did in cinema. I was like, no, they didn't just do that, did they? Yeah, they did. Fuck it.
Well, I'm sorry to say that ... So I'll leave it there.
Oh
no.
Yeah, that's good. That's what's great about you. I mean, you worked on these films, and even though you can say we don't like them, you don't get pissed off about it. You seem to like,
he doesn't like them either. He questions his life.
You just watch yourself. But it's one of those things where it depends on how good a time you actually have when you're actually on it. I mean, believe you me, I've been on some stuff where it's been such garbage. The end product has been such garbage, but the experience of working on that project
because
has been
you work
fantastic.
I don't know how much you can say, but were you with Lord or were you with Howard? Like when it was being made, like which Solo was it?
Yes.
Because obviously that film went through some absolutely horrific production issues.
The answer is yes. Make of that what you will.
Fair enough.
Because I watched her from A New Hope to No Hope as well, and it does seem like it could have been a cool movie as well, but got maybe wall ass bridge face fucking ruins everything. She does.
Yep, she did my head in. But also on top of that, it was just a bad idea. It was
the
just
fact that
bad idea.
Han's name could have been Han. You're on your own.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean,
Doesn't have a
as
nice
you
ring
say,
to it.
You've got the mystery behind all these exploits. It's like, oh yeah, did the Kessel run in 12 parsecs? Oh, you find out it's just a shortcut. Oh, fucking great. This is the thing that's meant to make the Millennium Falcon what it is. It's why the ship is famous, and you basically took a shortcut. Fantastic, great, yeah, cheers for that. But I mean, the only really good thing about that film, in my opinion, was Glover as Lando Calrissian. But it should have been a Lando film, not a Solo film.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because there's so much more to find out about Lando than there was that we didn't want to know about Han Solo.
And you're also telling me that the Millennium Falcon,
though, didn't they? And it didn't fucking, and because that flopped, they like canned all the other prequels, didn't they?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Before that, they were due to make the Obi-Wan Kenobi film. They were due to make the Boba Fett film. And then when they realised that they lost money on it, like I said in my video, they were like, shit, we can't be seen to be embarrassed like this again. We actually posted a loss on a movie. So we're going to put everything else on Disney Plus where we can hide the numbers.
Why did we need a sex scene in the shower with Han and Chewie?
Director's cut.
Yeah.
Can't get enough therapy for that image. Jeez.
Oh God. Anyway, back onto something a bit more cheery and less traumatic. So he runs by that the old fucking Orion's belt thing is he's trying to make sense of the whole Orion galaxy on the Orion's belt.
Yes.
And it's not happening.
Because Orion's belt is part of the galaxy, so it makes no sense.
Yeah. And this is where we found out like Kay really is fucking human. He's it's one of the few moments where we see the chinks in the armor, the shell sort of like.
Well, this is it. It's all. I mean, I don't want to say it's an act, but it is a mask that he's built up over time.
Oh yeah, this is where the mask sort of the crack show on the mask here.
Yeah, it just starts to slip just a little bit, and then Jay's like, "Oh, you are human."
Yeah, he sort of takes some piss out of him a little bit. It's like, well, look at the grumpy guy. He's got a little. He has a heart. And it's
literally shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I love how he gets a little bit stern from his mother. He says, "Oh well, it's better to have loved than lost." It's like, you try. This is back to the plot now, because we can't just fucking ponder on all day about regrets. The fucking plot has to happen still, and it's looking like.
Well, as I say, you're past that tipping point in the film now. There is no time to dwell upon these things. There's now whatever the fuck Arcturian warship, or whatever it's called, in orbit of Earth.
Yeah, Kelly's know that shit's happening there. A lot of the fucking are getting the fuck out now. It's like, okay, why are they vacating? I mean, the only place we can do now is check out the fucking shop of the dead body which was owned by the guy who died. See if we can find some leads.
Give the kid a weapon.
Yeah, give the kid a weapon. Serious body atomizers. That's what I'm talking about. And I love this. Like it just seems like it's giving him a shit fucking gun. That's just pointless to use. And the reveal is so good, though. It's such a fucking funny reveal. And it looks like he's come to the same conclusion as well, because where he shot him down in the first place, wasn't it? And then comes this fucking arsehole trying to tow his truck, and when he realizes
every single time he's on screen. Is it a mask, or is he actually contorting his face? It's got to be like a bit of both. There's got to be some makeup.
I think it's both. Yeah, it's definitely both. It's definitely both. I think he might have had something that pulls his eyelid down a little bit.
That's what I was thinking. Like, he's got something contorting his face. Still so impressive.
It's still so good as well. He's horrifying to look at as well. The skin's decomposing.
Exactly,
his eyes gone all white now because it's dead.
I mean, he really does look like somebody wearing a suit more than maybe anything I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of sci-fi, but it just looks like somebody wearing a very ill-fitting suit.
It's funny you mentioned that kind of. It's funny you mentioned that gradual decomposition. As the movie goes on, it's very reminiscent of Rick Baker's work on An American Werewolf in London with the Jack character.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh wow, that's some out of this world special effects.
Horrendous.
Yeah, it's still one of the best fucking werewolf transformations ever because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of other fucking programs like Being Human took its cue, you know, like the fact that he's in great pain when he transforms and the bones are like fucking breaking off and morphing, and it's amazing
His
to watch.
hands were stretching and you could hear the knuckles and the bones, and God almighty.
It's the fact that the way he screams as well, when his face just fucking contorts into a fucking
snout and
like
everything.
I
think it's the legs that does it for me, because obviously wolves have those kind of rear-jointed legs kind of thing. And you see his
legs are bending
his shin and his ankles twist and break. It's like, that's great work.
I love it. It's definitely one I'm going to be watching this Halloween again because it's so fucking good.
Yeah, maybe cover it at Halloween, man. I'd love to talk about that film.
We should definitely cover that one.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I'll fucking get that down soon. Yeah, this is where it starts to come to a conclusion. All right, now I found Orion's belt. It's on this fucking cat, and we don't know yet. We're just thinking he's looking at this cat for some reason. Is there something meaningful about this animal? But no, never mind. This asshole's fucking towing his truck. He's not happy, and he tries to fucking puts on a shotgun.
I love the way he walks away to the truck as well. He does that weird sort of staggered walk that he's doing throughout the film. It's so good.
Yeah.
As you say, he probably should have got some kind of award for this, for supporting actor or something.
I know. Yeah, he must have gone through a lot of pain every fucking day.
Presumably. I don't know if there's any behind-the-scenes stuff or anything like that, but...
I think he was wearing leg braces the entire time, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
Keep his legs straight. Yeah.
So he must have been in some pain doing it, but fucking good. Top marks of Vincent D'Onofrio, man.
Yeah, really impressed. And as I say, I mean, I've not seen this film for a long time now. And when you're a kid, you just don't think of it. But as an adult, you see it and you're like, wow, I really appreciate that aspect of the performance.
It's such a fucking shame Echo ruins his Kingpin character because he's so fucking good in that program.
Marvel just does that to every single character. Every single character. Every male character anyway.
And this guy's a fucking idiot. Look, the guy's pointing a shotgun at him, and he's like, please, I got this pistol on me. He gets killed for it.
It's New York City.
I was going to say,
that's why.
Yeah.
Obviously, Edgar's ransacked the place before they have done, but because Edgar's now shot a fucking tow truck guy, Will Smith sees him, and he already knows what he looks like because he's seen a picture of him, hasn't he? And
yes, exactly. Yeah, but this is Jay acting before he thinks. That's the whole thing behind Jay. He's impetuous.
Yeah, because
it's a cliche, it's hackney trope, but it works very well in this film.
Yeah, because he's still a street cop, isn't he? Mentally, even though.
At the end of the day, he's always going to be a man of action, not thinking like he needs to. Like Kay will say in a minute, like he's not going anywhere. Like we've got his shit.
Because they've got his shit. I know.
Kay's thinking ahead. Jay acts and reacts.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why he fires the bloody gun twice.
No, it's still so fucking funny as well. Just seeing him fly backward. And it's like, damn, this little thing has a lot of fucking kicking to it. And
this is where Kay is actually genuinely angry with Jay at this point. One of the few points that he's genuinely like, no, you don't fucking do this. The only thing that keeps these people sane is the fact that they do not know about it.
Yeah, because he's acting more like a normal person as well. This is not a fucking suspect who will hide in another building. He wants to hide outside this planet, and because of that, there's a lot more complications that are on there.
Yeah. We haven't got time to argue. There's an Arcturian battleship, and then Kay's like, there's always an Arcturian battleship. That's the whole idea. These people are always in danger, and we're the only thing protecting them, and we protect them with ignorance.
No, and it just goes to show you how fucking experienced Kay is as well with this kind of thing. I know.
Well, I mean, don't forget, I think it was 3 people killed themselves over a radio broadcast in the 60s.
No, that was in the 30s. That was
in the 30s, was it?
It was in the 30s, yeah.
War of the
Worlds, yeah, because it was done as a series of news broadcasts. Some people actually thought it was true.
It was.
And I've listened to it, and I can kind of understand it because it doesn't have any. And now presenting War of the Worlds, it just suddenly cuts into the radio program.
Strangely enough, it actually does. If you listen to the entire broadcast,
Yeah.
And you listen to the broadcast right from the very beginning.
Yep.
It actually says, this is War of the Worlds. This is a fictionalized account of.
Oh, but it doesn't do it for
adaptation.
each bit, does it? It just does it at the beginning of it. Is what
It
I'm
does
saying.
it does it at the beginning, and then you go into like some radio show where you've got dance music of the time of the 30s and everything, and then we
And then it
interrupt
cuts
this
in as a
program,
news thing.
etc. Yeah.
And it caught people out. Like people were actually
Yeah,
genuinely
really did,
hiding under tables, and they thought the aliens were invading. And I think it was 3 people killed themselves over it. Literally
And there's a very, very good documentary about that, actually. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure I think I saw it on YouTube. But a really good documentary that was made about that.
Okay,
and
I'll try and hunt that down.
Yeah, and it's also you had hundreds of thousands of people that were like leaving the towns and cities.
There was
the
an
highways
exodus,
and everything. It was bizarre, but
it was a mass. It was a mass manipulation of the public via media.
Yeah, but obviously it wasn't intended. It was supposed to have been a form of entertainment and everything. And
as you say, because there's only the warning at the start. So if you don't catch that start, you have no idea what you're tuning into.
And
they couldn't apparently rewind it back in the days, could they? They had to catch it because there was no videos, there was no tapes. If you missed it, that was it.
And of course, it was. But how it worked was there was a very, very famous American radio show called Amos and Andy, and Amos and Andy finished. I think it's something like a minute or 2 after the War of the Worlds came on. So if you tuned out of Amos and Andy on NBC and then to whatever other radio station, CBS, that War of the Worlds was on, you would have missed the warning at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you would have missed all of that, and that's what happened.
I presume somebody got fucking fired over that.
Well, he had to make a public apology, Orson Welles.
Oh wow! Actually, Orson Welles did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had to make a public apology. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but it's an interesting story.
I'll have to try and find that documentary about it. I imagine it'd be very, very interesting. I only remember reading about it when I was at school. I think it came up in school, like in a lesson or something. But the power of what information
of media
can do. Exactly.
I think it's called something like The Day America Went Crazy, or The Day America, something like that.
Okay.
I
will also look that up though, because I knew about this as well. I think like 100 most scariest moments on Channel 4. It's like one of those list shows on Channel 4, and it was definitely talking about War of the Worlds, the radio station, the radio show as well, and people really generally thought that they were getting invaded by Earth and were generally terrified.
Well, back then, that was the only way that you got information.
It was,
I know, So the fact that it was
kind of immediate information.
It kind of goes to show just how powerful good acting can really be, to the point where it can become very convincing, to the point where you think it's real.
Well, indeed. I mean, and the same thing was done, if you remember correctly, in Watchmen. With what's his name? Ozymandias did exactly the same thing. So he did a fake alien invasion to unite the world's powers. And you have to wonder, with the rise of AI, hey man, I mean, people are pretty stupid these days. So I'm surprised nobody has at least made a film based on it, put it that way. I can't find the documentary, but I'll have a good look for it later. The Galaxy. Oh, we lost somebody.
Yeah, I think it'll be back on.
He'll be back in a minute.
It happens.
So Deliver the Galaxy. They don't want much.
Yeah, and it's set out they're holding us responsible. So if we don't deliver the Galaxy, they'll fucking nuke us as well. Just avoid the fucking cockroaches from getting it.
It's the Aquilian.
Yeah.
Aquilians. Yeah.
Aquilians or something. Yeah.
Aquilian.
Yeah. Once again, it ups the stakes as well. It gives us it lets us know that shit's really fucking going down.
That's it. It's putting you on a countdown, hasn't it? And that's always the way that you raise the stakes, you escalate it, you go towards your final your final act is by having a countdown. The audience understands the stakes. They understand that you can't dawdle around anymore, and off you go.
Yeah. So now plus now Edgar's got no fucking spaceship, but he's still going to be a man on a mission. He'll still fucking figure out how he can fucking win this. He's trying to find out where fucking dead. He has to random fucking guy, where do you find the dead?
Yeah.
I don't know, Cinemorg. And he actually tries to load the books for it as well, which my wife actually noticed when I was watching it for today. It's like, that's kind of fucking funny, like, yeah. Then he picks up this little fucking card, and you wonder why is he picking that, because you don't know it yet. And I love the fact
So
that
he's trying to explain about swamp gas and
yeah, he's doing a bad job of it. Thankfully, damage control is on hand to fucking keep things strong. The only way, and now they've got to find out more information from one of their informers. Looking like this fucking guy on the right is the guy.
He looks like Richard Bloody. What's his name out of Rocky Horror Picture Show? Richard O'Brien.
Yeah. I'm not saying how you're talking about.
Looks like Richard O'Brien's dad.
Yeah, Richard O'Brien's dad. Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, that's the worst disguise ever. This guy's definitely an alien. Then he pans onto the fucking pug.
The dog.
Yeah. You don't like it? You can kiss my hair in the butt. I feel sorry for this fucking dog as well, because they're shaking the fuck out of this poor thing. I'm like, is that going to give the dog fucking brain damage or something?
It's a pug. It's already got brain damage.
Yeah, it's all that fucking inbreeding from the aristocrats.
Exactly, yeah. Most pedigree breeds these days are absolutely fucked.
Yeah, I feel bad for them as well. I see fucking videos where they're laying on their back, doing fucking noise when they snort, and people are saying it's fucking kill. It's no, that thing's fucking struggling to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. So many breeds have just been. No, in all seriousness, here, so many breeds have been absolutely destroyed through inbreeding.
Yeah, I think they're trying to outbreed as well, like just to try and get back to some fucking normality again.
Need some good bloodlines. That's what you need.
Yeah, I think I heard this about
Tim Blaney is the voice of Frank. I'm trying to see if I've ever seen him in anything else, but I don't think I have.
That does sound really fucking familiar.
Nothing I recognise. Mostly video game stuff. But then, as a voice actor, he's done like his IMDb is absolutely massive.
Nice.
Absolutely massive, because obviously voice actors are just always doing bits here and there. So he's been in like Skyrim and stuff like that. So a standard voice actor. Oh, he's the voice of Johnny Five from Short Circuit.
Oh.
Probably remaking that soon.
That's probably his most famous role I can see.
Yeah. The dog is fucking Johnny Five.
Yep.
Man,
dog is Johnny Five. There's something you didn't know. Maybe. Inside Man probably knew that. If he ever comes back.
Funny, because Johnny Five's like this really fucking naive, likable, sort of charming, sort of who doesn't know the way of the world, but now he's voicing this very scuzzy sound, little grimy looking fucking pug, and it's
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the sign of a versatile voice actor, isn't it? They can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, voice actors seem to be versatile as well, because half the time you sound different in many other things as well, but you can always hear a little hint of their normal voice. But
yes, yeah.
That's only if you're looking for it, though. That's only if you're looking for that hint. But they don't play it like the normal agent talking to the informant, and the informant's not giving them what they need, so he has to persuade him a little bit. And yeah, and it is very darkly funny, but I still feel sorry for the fucking dog, though.
I'm going to say Rick Baker might have made a...
I was going to say he may well have made a fake dog.
Yeah.
You have to see the actual clip.
I hope so.
But then again, it was the 90s, so who knows?
You have got the animal protection thingy, haven't you?
Yeah, they probably might have shaken a little bit, but not enough to really cause it any harm, and probably did a fake one in some edits. Who knows? I hope they did. They did say that
animals were shaken.
Animals were shaken.
Actually, that comes. Actually, when I think about it now, when I was looking at the trivia, no animals were harmed whatsoever, including the cockroaches. No
I'm
cockroaches
literally
were
watching the
killed.
scene this very second, and I think it's CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's definitely there's a very small edit pause between when you stop shaking it and when they go back to the dog talking. And obviously the
I would
dog was
hope
animated.
it's not a real dog.
Yeah, I thought they just CGI'd the mouth and that was it. But,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So the what I'm thinking is that the shaking is CGI, and then it's a real dog with animated facial features over it.
Well,
That's
if it
what,
was
that's what I'm thinking,
more,
because
if it was
he
real
doesn't
pedo
just shake the dog; he then starts spinning it around and stuff. And I don't think they get around doing that with a real dog. And if you look, I don't know, the far shot looks like it might be.
Oh, yeah, Barbara Lawrence. Sorry if I didn't fucking notice you, Ellie. Yeah, thanks for joining us. You're always welcome on here. And yeah, fucking signal has been fucking up a little bit here, but just one of those nights. Hopefully, it won't hinder the rest of the stream so much this week.
We've persevered. It's made it work. It's all good.
But this is where just starts to come to a conclusion. Wait a minute. I think I noticed the cat. Had a,
The cat, yeah.
Yeah, had a lead that said Orion. It could lead to something. And this is when she starts to fucking discover Orion. And this, not just her, us. We start to discover Orion's belt here a little bit as well. We see this galaxy inside, this little tiny jewel hanging off it. And
again, that's the great thing about the film is we discover things at the same time as the characters, not the characters telling the characters that already know because they need to for our benefit or anything like that.
Yeah, this is actually when we learn what Orion's belt is all along. So, yeah, because we're all wondering now, what's it mean? It's just these 3 stars. How can it be? How can the galaxy be fucking here? But no, this now everything comes into play. This is the plot thickens here.
It's all connected.
Yeah, Danny Elfman's theme is fucking amazing here as well. It's just the way it just soars as well.
Elfman is one of my favourite composers. He's got a unique signature style to his stuff that really stands out.
No, it can be big, bombastic, really quirky at the same time, and I think that's why his Batman scores. Batman theme is still the best Batman.
One of my favourites. My favourite piece of his for the Batman score is Descent into Mystery when they're racing towards the Batcave and he's got Vicky Vale with him in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
That piece of music. Oh man, the way it swells.
It's also a very memorable scene as well, and it's just them in the car not saying anything, and it's
exactly. Yeah. It's all done through the eyes and everything like that. That's another film we should cover if you haven't already.
Yeah, I might do that because I love the original Tim Burton Batman, even though a lot of people are saying it's fucking dead, but it's still good. I don't care what
it's a fucking classic. I mean, even just Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Yeah, it's a different kind of Joker, but he's so good. So good.
Yeah, it does play fast and loose with the original source material, but I think it works for that movie though.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Smith said quite rightly that Tim Burton had probably never read a comic in his life when he decided to make Batman, and it kind of shows, but that's Tim Burton. That's what Tim Burton does. And in my opinion, the 1989 Batman is an amazing movie, so I don't care.
Yeah. I did read one of the original drafts of the scripts, and it did seem to be a lot more comic accurate, but because the writer's strike happened, Tim Burton took charge a bit more and added Joker being the guy who killed his parents. And there was a lot of scenes. There was a lot of scenes. Yeah. There was a lot of
Joe Chill.
Yeah. There was a lot of.
I was going to say Michael Keaton definitely made that Flash movie bearable.
He did, didn't he? Like, him,
he
and
was still the best thing.
I did like Supergirl.
She was great.
He was good. So
she just didn't feel developed. That's it. She just didn't feel fully developed. She felt like a little bit of a plot device to introduce Dark Flash, and that was it. And it's a waste of a potentially good actress.
If we'd had someone decent instead of that horrible Ezra Miller little punk.
Yeah, he's a horrible person.
I mean, who thought it was a good idea to not only have Ezra Miller in the movie, but then put a more annoying version of Ezra Miller in the same fucking movie?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's dead for me. Just at that point, I'm like, no, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with one Ezra Miller, let alone 2.
Yeah,
but it could have been a great movie. It was watched it for Keaton kind of thing, and super.
Yeah, that's the only reason I watched it, just
decent.
to see Keaton.
Yeah, I mean,
The only interest of it.
Yeah,
but Keaton Stuntman did some bloody good work in that film. I did like a few bits about it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to get too off topic, but I did like the fact that they don't win. I thought that was very good.
Yeah.
The fact that no matter what they do, they can't win. They keep losing. I thought that's good. That's not what Hollywood normally does. I like that. But the bad bits about the film were so bad, including the CGI, that it wrecked the rest of it.
Yeah, no, it's like the CGI is worse than the stuff we see in the fucking Nazis. I mean,
it's worse than the CGI in this.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And this is 30 years ago.
God almighty.
Or 27 years ago. So no, it was next level bad. Like when they did the cameos with like Christopher Reeve and Nicolas Cage, it's like, what the hell is this? Looks like a PlayStation 2 game.
Give me the Mummy Returns any day.
Yeah, because when Edgar reveals himself, it's CGI. It does look a little dated, but there's still a lot of like details on the cockroaches. Like there's this very slimy texture to him as well, which makes it more look grotesque.
It fits in with the comic book thing, and again, they couldn't make it too scary because you need to make it for the kids. So you can't make it this absolutely horribly grotesque sort of monster type thing. So they did what they could, and I think it's good. And yes, Barbara, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, he's
my favorite Batman as well. Yeah, he's the one that I think did the mix of Batman and Bruce Wayne the best.
Yeah, and he did it just by not having so much dialogue as well. Mostly just keeping it focused more on the facial expressions and.
Yes. Yeah.
But speaking, you mentioned Ezra Miller. Speaking of fucking
Ben Affleck never got a chance. That was the problem with Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah. Wasted potentially because he was
absolute waste. I think he could have been great, but I never got to see him do what he could do. He was always in a scene with somebody else. I mean, I thought Jeremy Irons was a pretty great Alfred, to be honest.
Really good Alfred.
They got all the right ingredients, but somehow they fucking mix it up with some other shit, and
there will be books written about how badly DC got it wrong.
Yeah,
it really, really will be.
We've rarely seen a bad Alfred ever.
What the?
They let Snyder just run amok, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, you're right. We've not seen a bad.
We've always seen a real solid Alfred, even in the TV shows and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Andy Serkis was a solid Alfred in the new Batman film. He was good. So yeah, you're right. We've not really seen a bad Alfred.
Let's see what we'll probably get more into that when I start doing the Batman.
Yes. Sorry.
September. I'll do it September. Yeah.
On the plus side, Focus ZX is enjoying it, so we're good. But yes, the bug status is don't do that.
This is back. Says it's back. Where are you, man? Wait, there he is.
What happened to him?
Where is at the bottom? Let me scroll back. Sorry, man. You were right off screen and I couldn't see you, but now I've got you.
Apologies, mate. Yeah, funny enough, my internet went down. It just kind of fizzled out, and
something in the air tonight.
Yeah, definitely is.
Solar here in Nottingham, slap bang in the middle of England.
I saw your private chat. I did. So now Edgar's looking for the fucking cat now, and this is where we come across David
Cross.
Yeah.
He
he's just killing all these.
I know him from wasn't he in X-Files?
Yeah, Arrested Development as well. He's very funny.
I've not seen that.
Does a lot of stand-up, doesn't he?
Okay.
It's mainly a stand-up guy, I think.
He used to be funny, but he's kind of become a bit TDS as well at the moment. And like many other very funny people in the business.
It's crazy how it happened, isn't it?
I know.
It really is. How people just went completely unhinged over that one thing.
Yeah, but fucking, because back then he was a very funny dude, and he really fucking gets it bad. All he has to do is just not kill the flies in front of him.
Yeah. But he's got the attitude on him, hasn't he? I'm sure he was one of the gunmen of the apocalypse.
God, man, fucking Vincent D'Onofrio. He's so fucking funny.
I'll tell you what, I kind of want to watch this again just to see him.
Yeah,
should invite him on, Luke. Get him on the show.
Yeah,
I would love to get Vincent D'Onofrio on here. But
sure, get him on.
Oh, the lone gunman, that's it. Not fucking gunman in the apocalypse.
Nah, I don't want to get David Cross on. Vincent D'Onofrio, definitely.
Get Vince on.
No, it's not.
Love
I
him.
think it's somebody else.
Love this actor. Now Jay's like, you know what? I'll go in there because knowing you'll start fucking flashing away medical, fucking whatever, and maybe I can do it a little bit more cleaner than you think. She was like, all right, 2 minutes then.
Yeah. Another great bit of comedy here as well. Where she's trying to tell him.
It's a really intense scene as well, where he's fucking abusing her as well, and he's trying to find out where this fucking cat is, and she's like, and she's not going to give this cat away to this fucking psycho. No way. And it's just and he's just outside the office as well, going, hello, bang, hello, bang. And once again, we got fucking Jay just totally misreading the fucking situation. She's trying to tell him that she's in danger. The guy who's trying to kill her is underneath her, and he fucking assumes she's coming on to him.
Oh, man, you're choosing some really unfortunate stills there.
I know. I really like to go with you now.
I really need to show you something.
Yeah.
Really?
Even he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, please, someone get rid of this fucking arsehole. Now, Kay's no, that Edgar's in the room now, and because he's just spotted fucking David Cross just splattered all over the fucking walls, and he's still holding the bug sprays in his hand as well. Look.
Oh yeah.
Once again, a nice bit of mean-spirited fucking gallows humour. But now this is where Kay really starts to realise.
I think he's making a noise in the film, isn't he? I don't think he's dead. I think in the film
he's in the second one too.
Yeah, I know it's in the second one. Yeah, I don't think. Did I say Dad? I don't know.
Nah. No, you just said gallows humour, so I just automatically assumed.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Ignore that. That was So he didn't die, so it's not gallows humour. It's just mean-spirited humour. That's it. But.
Yeah. Jay slowly starts.
Yeah, now he's getting the picture. He's getting the picture, and he's realising. Yeah, I think I'm exposed here. And just jumping fucking cat jumps right on where Edgar can fucking get in.
Bloody cats.
So now it comes to a fucking standoff. He's got her as a hostage, and he's like, "Yeah, where the fuck?"
Having to go at him at the same time, isn't she? She's like.
Yeah, but I love this little lecture as well. I was like, you fucking humans are nothing. I mean, you pull the wings off a fly, but let's see a fly get fucking even. But now things are really fucking getting intense. He's got Orion's belt, and now he's got a fucking hostage as well, and now he knows a way he can escape from Earth as well, and watches the total disaster that happens from his own fucking doorstep.
Now that's a good still.
That is a good still. Yeah, it's like.
CGI there.
Yeah, she refuses to drive him, so he fucking does that fucking shit. Yeah. I'd hit the accelerator as well.
Yeah, convince anybody.
Yeah. The way he just swallows that as well. Fucking good physical acting once again. I've got Jay still being the fucking brash, hot-headed rookie, and he's chasing after him while Kay just fucking stays calm because. Come on, don't worry. Don't go rushing. We will get this guy. We always do.
Well, this is the whole thing. Like Kay, thinks ahead. Yeah. Jay acts, reacts.
Because he's rationalising everything. He's deducting. All right. He's like, the guy's lost his shit. Where the hell is he going to go? He's gonna. We all know he's gonna try and find somewhere close, like a local. So, and it's us rushing around, losing our heads is not gonna fucking help. We have to fucking go back to the office and get all the info from the guys who can get this quicker than we can. And now we found out that the Achilles are going to fucking destroy the Earth in an intergalactic week, which is like a fucking hour.
Yeah.
Once again, the clock starts ticking. The clock starts fucking ticking now. It's like shit. But this is a good little scene as well because now it's Jay that figures things out. He's
yeah. Well, this is the thing. Like, he's observational. He acts and he's rash. No. It's, as I say, it's a trope. We've seen it so many times. The young, brash, reckless person. But they make it work in this, so I can forgive the fact that they're doing the same old, same old.
What I really like about the scene is that, remember, we saw this probably, an hour ago on that little thing? And it was like such a know-nothing little thing, though.
Great setup and payoff.
Yeah, if you would have blinked, you would have missed it.
Yeah.
And plus,
nowadays, they zoom right into the picture because they think the audience are idiots. And sometimes they are. So nowadays, they linger on that photo for ages or something to really drive it in.
So it is good. It is good that they don't show us it as well. We see Jay give a certain look, and he tells him, "Okay, do those still work?" Then we reveal, and okay, because it's a logical deduction as well. Because he's still a bit of a cop as well, and it's that kind of cop thinking that brings him to that logical conclusion, because he's got to escape now, but he can't travel too far to get where he needs to. He has to find someone that's close that might still be functional enough for him to use to get off air.
Well, I mean, for a start, they know he's got to get to somewhere that's, you've got to be able to get there within an hour or one galactic standard week. So,
So now we're at the exhibition. Was it the New York Fair? Is it?
Yeah, is it Flushing Meadows? Is that where it is?
Well, Joe.
That sounds about right to me. I've seen it.
I was waiting for a resident American to
I've been there one time, so probably after this movie, my dad took me there.
Let's look in the comments anyway. Nothing yet, but never mind. We're there anyway, and this is where we come to what's about to be the final climax as well.
Yep.
And obviously wants to take what's the name of the characters again? Laurel, is it?
Laurel, yeah.
Laurel, yeah.
Yeah. And now we see
never
the
even
picture.
gets a second name.
Yeah, and it looks like Jay's hunch is right.
It's called Dr. Laurel Weaver.
Dr. Laurel, yeah.
Yep.
And he's got her as a hostage as well, because he's going to need a fucking snack on his travels. So, so that means she's got to come with him. And we get another good payoff to a setup. Never touch the red button as displayed earlier when Jay first entered his car. And now we found out why is because
this bit had me absolutely howling.
And this is what I feel like Team America were taking the piss out of.
Yeah.
With the Val Morphin eyes.
Yeah.
I know, because he says earlier that wait a minute, you're taking the fucking underground? That's going to be packed. He's like, yeah, but not with this fucking car. Once again, he's still thinking, he's still not used to this kind of life. He's still thinking how a normal human being would think. This normal trip to where the tunnel would be packed, for a normal person, but he's starting to realise that's not going to be the case for him now, especially in this life.
Yeah,
and it's an amazing fucking payoff. It's very funny. He didn't put his seatbelt on like he was supposed to, because even though Kay's reminded him many fucking times, and he's paying for it now.
This is the thing: is Kay's in his element now. You get the feeling this is what Kay is used to. This is where Kay's happiest. So now it's Jay who's panicking, and Kay's totally calm. It's like, yeah, it's fine. We're going to get there. It's all going to be good. Maybe knowing that it's his last mission.
I know. Plus, he even pays to Saw Booth as well.
Yes. Yeah. He plays Elvis. You realise Elvis is dead, right? Elvis is not dead. He just went home.
I know. Once again, it just builds up this world as well. Like, so Elvis was a fucking alien, and we just sent him home. That's all. It was all a cover up.
Yeah, he cropped up in the newspaper as well. I don't know if you saw, but it was in the top. It said Elvis spotted somewhere. I can't remember where.
What was that?
It's just like, it's like our entire history is there. It's like our entire history of had all this fucking secret stuff happening right under our noses, and it does bring a real sense of mystery to everything,
It's a funny concept, and they could have done so much with it. Really could have. It's a bit of a shame. It probably should have been a much bigger franchise than it was, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't tried to resurrect it as a TV show or something, to be honest. But I think Men in Black International's failure just killed it off again.
Yeah, because they're dropping all these hints of a bigger fucking world in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's almost limitless, I mean, you think about the amount of scenarios that you can, especially when you start incorporating all different alien races and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
So now Edgar has Laurel, and she's trying to convince him that no, you can't eat me because I am a queen, a goddess. It'll start a war. This will cause problems, and. Yeah, she's trying to fucking reason with him, trying to convince him not to fucking kill her, like a normal person would in that kind of situation. But it's
And,
like,
he just
good
gets,
war, that means more food for my family. There's a lot of mouths to feed, you know.
finally gets fed up with her.
Yeah. Yeah, so he thinks, fuck it, get into a spaceship. But thank God fucking K and J make it there. And he finally gets a nice big fucking rifle to look fucking cool with. Coaches check in, they don't check out. Yeah, then Master fucking he's sat there hoping things go to plan now, and
Definitely a bit of 90s CGI there.
Yeah, and it still don't look so bad, you know. Once again, we get another bit of sense of humor where, we get another bit of sense of another funny little moment where a famous sports star sees an alien and he misses the fucking shot.
Yes, yeah. One of the great things about back then with movies is they knew, and this even goes back to things like Jurassic Park in 1993, they knew to never create an entire scene out of CGI. CGI was used to enhance or to add elements. It was never used to create an entire scene. And what we get now is that films are practically made by computer, and they just look so fake.
And
so very, very fake.
There's nothing there. There's nothing physically there. Practical effects are there, though. Even if it looks fake, there's still a real weight to their interactions. You know.
Also, Ian McKellen broke down, didn't he, on the Hobbit?
Yeah,
because he was just sitting in front of a green screen. There was nobody to bounce off of, nobody to interact with, and that's not, to people like these who are thespians and very old, learned veteran actors. It's not acting. It's not acting at all. Probably one hell of a culture shock for them.
Yeah, I'll give Ian McKellen a fucking credit. He's not one of the fucking politically charged actors. He seems. I mean, he probably was in the 80s when he was
when he had to be. Yes, yeah. But that's one of the things that I think makes him that way. Is he's seen how bad it was. Back when it was illegal, back when you couldn't be gay in public and all that kind of stuff. And he's probably grateful that he can be out and gay now.
I know.
He is gay and camp as fuck. He really is.
Yeah, because he was fighting for something that actually meant something. He wasn't narcissistic at all, and he hates PC culture. I love him for
very unpolitical. Very unpolitical. Yeah. Cool dude.
Yes.
You should be ashamed when we lose him.
Yeah. We need more actors who do fit a certain fucking diverse group, but at the same time, don't you see it as a way to define them?
Well, as you say, TDS. Once that happened, all the actors just went basically absolutely mental. it really was a trigger point.
Boring. It was boring in fucking 2015, and it's boring now. It was. I don't know. How the fuck are they still doing it now? It's just annoying.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais nailed it. Your actors.
Yeah.
Take your award, sit down, shut the fuck up, and do your job.
God bless Ricky Gervais. The guy is one of the few fucking liberals that has a good bit of common sense. At least famous liberals, anyway, that has common sense. Because
but again, I mean, obviously we don't get too off topic again. He's liberal, but he's not like constantly fucking like he pisses off the liberals as well. Do you know what I mean? A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not fundamentalist, is he?
He's a liberal, but he's not an activist or an SJW or anything like that, in my opinion. Yeah. Like the most outspoken thing I've seen him against is things like animal cruelty and stuff like that. He doesn't give that much of a fuck about humans at all, which is probably why I like the guy so much. But anyway, back to Men in Black. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Going on tangents. Yeah, the blast the alien, and
one day I'm going to do a stream that's under 3 hours. Well, you're going to do a stream that's under 3 hours with me on it, but it's not tonight.
It is pretty fucking cool. Fucking Jay's a little bit on edge here as well, seeing this fucking big alien shit coming towards him, while Kay's just really fucking cool about it. And the stuff his plans, he's really fucking pissed off now. He's really fucking having a go at him.
Yeah. There ain't much of Edgar left there, really, is there?
Yeah.
Very rotten, very zombie looking.
Yeah,
I'd love to know how they made that scene. Like, I would love to know how they shot that scene where the ship actually crashes, because that was very practical effect, wasn't it?
I think it's miniature, and then the dudes are superimposed over the top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like Jason and the Argonauts, where you can see the fighting skeletons, but it's right next to a screen, isn't it? And he had to get the choreography on point as well to the fights. It's
by the master Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, so it might be some kind of they filmed the miniature work and then rear projected it onto the actors against the actors or something.
Yeah. You can still see it a little bit still.
I'm surprised Inside Man's not.
Is he
Well,
still
well,
there?
Oh, there he is.
I did meet Ray Harryhausen when I was a lot
you?
younger.
Oh,
and,
stop it! You can go off a person, you know.
and he actually gave me a little bit of a gift as well from
Was it
one
when
of the
you were-
sets. So
He was the master. Let's be honest. When it comes to
Yeah.
stop animation, there was none.
absolute hero of mine. So absolute hero.
Yeah.
Just about
I'm not
those
jealous.
stop
I'm not
motion.
jealous in the slightest. But yeah, with this one, what do you reckon? I mean, I'm just speculating that they've taken a miniature of the UFO,
Yeah,
and
I think
used a
it's
miniature
better
of
than
that, and then imposed the actors against it.
yeah,
All right, next.
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I'd
But like,
say
how
yeah.
big was the ship? Because it looked like it was shifting a ton of dirt when it came up.
But to make that work, they would do it a few foot across at least.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've Starship Generations, the Enterprise dish or
That's
the
exactly
source
what I was
section,
thinking. It was
yeah,
exactly
the source
same.
section they crashed. That was about 15 foot across, I think. So, because as you correctly say, you need to put some scale into it, because otherwise the particles of dirt and everything are not going to look right.
No.
Yeah.
So, I imagine those UFOs are probably a good few foot across.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I mean, you can't scale dirt. You know you can't create dirt for scale, and you can't create water drops for scale, and you can't create flames for scale. They are the size they are.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's very, very difficult. I mean, there are certain things that you can do to make ripples. You know, you float alcohol and water. You know, if it's like a ship or something, and then you have loads of fans blowing, or you to try and make flames look smaller, you inject a lot of air in there.
Yeah,
You know, to break
and you can use very fine particle dirt and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, things like Fuller's Earth is like the generally used product.
But
really,
water droplets, as you say, are the big one. Splashes and things like that are very hard to. That's why some of the really old supermarination stuff, like Stingray and stuff like that,
yeah,
looks like what it is. But then again, that was the '60s, so
yeah, because it kind of. Because like you're saying, I mean, there's real weight to practical effects. Like this here, I mean, look how fucking gross, and it's right in front of our screens as well. This is not CGI. This is all there. And it's
one of the things one of the things that I absolutely bemoan in modern filmmaking is the loss of miniature effects. I really do. Because as you say, there's a physicality and a weight to them that, unless you've animated it very, very, very well, you don't get in CGI.
You're not really getting today either. They're just
you're really not. Especially with things like a lot of things like Marvel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no real physicality or weight to it, which it doesn't matter how well it's rendered. If it doesn't move correctly, your brain will not be fooled. You need to have that there, and that's why physical effects can work so well.
Yeah, I mean,
hello, Nick.
The demise of miniature work kind of, it did fall out of favor, but believe it or not, it is actually coming back.
That's
with a vengeance as well. It's
good. Let's get back to that.
Is that a practicality budget thing, or is it just a fact that it works better sometimes?
It tends to be a director's preference.
Okay.
Which is great. More and more directors are starting to go back to the older practical effects.
Good. Yeah.
And there are some great miniature artists. I mean, I've got some friends who have been miniature artists for 30, 40 years. Really relatively big names in the industry. I mean, I actually did a couple of miniature jobs. One was on Muppets Christmas Carol. The opening sequence with all the miniature houses and everything.
Oh, fantastic!
So we had a crane shot.
I love that film, by the way.
Yeah,
I love that film.
And I was lucky enough to work with Derek Meddings on a film called High Spirits. So Derek Meddings being like the legend of miniature effects artists in this country, anyway. Sadly, no longer with us, but. So did something with him, which was a real kind of highlight of.
I'm very glad to hear it's making the comeback, for whatever reason it may be, because budgets are ballooning, and one of the problems with that is that companies these days. I mean, let me put it this way: in the old days, you had to come up with a way to do things, and quite often that meant fudging it with miniatures.
Yeah.
So it's like, we need to get this effect, we're going to fudge it with miniatures, or we're going to do some kind of special, innovative special effects effect, basically. Whereas now, a lot of companies will be like, oh, we'll just do it in post, we'll fix it with computers, we'll do it with CGI. You know,
one of the reasons is that one of the I don't want to get off track too much, but I just quickly want to say this. One of the reasons that CGI is used so extensively is because a lot of these companies, like Warner Brothers, like Universal, like 20th Century Fox, Disney, whomever, they have a vested interest or financial interest in particular effects companies, right? So this is where Hollywood accounting comes into it. So they will pay themselves, in other words, a company that they own, to do the visual effects for this particular movie. So they've got this budget which they can pretty much more or less write off. So they're paying themselves and making that money from themselves. And that's why these are inflated prices for CG effects. But what they actually do is they subcontract or farm out individual elements of these effects to, believe it or not, bedroom CGI artists. That
yes, I've heard this.
You know,
yes,
and there's a massive problem in the CG business at the moment. A massive issue that proper CG artists have, because the level of pay that they're at is just it doesn't reflect the amount of work that they're doing.
Because they're constantly asked to redo things, and then there's a reshoot, and it's like, oh, right, you need to change it again, or
look at fucking
because you're paid for the job. You're paid for the. You're actually paid for the job and not for the hours.
Not for the hours. You're paid. You're basically it's a contract, isn't it? You're given a lump sum.
Yeah, you have to do this shot.
Because there's a film. World War J has to pop off soon anyway. So thanks for joining us. But I hope we can join us next time. But
thank you very much, guys. Awesome movie and everything, and I really enjoyed reminiscing with it again.
Yeah, it's great, dude. Sorry for delaying things so much
mate.
that you couldn't stick around till the end. I
apologize. Of course, I'll see you guys again.
We always try to
time.
keep it. I always try to keep it 3.5 hours anyway. But what we're saying about bedroom CGI, guys, I mean, wasn't there a film that offered work from normal people that wasn't studios to do the CGI, and it was and the CGI was actually really fucking good. I can't remember what film it was though. It came out not so long ago.
Oh, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh, that's
it. That's
great
it.
Film.
Yeah,
that was a great film. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, because you've seen all these fucking YouTube videos where Superman's mustache removal is actually done well.
Yep. And look at Luke Skywalker. Somebody deep faked it better, like 2 days after the episode.
Yeah.
And it's like, how long were they working on that? You imagine how long they were working on that.
Yeah.
And then somebody just goes and outdoes it. Yeah, it's crazy. CGI is one of those unfortunate things where it's a crux now, I think.
Yeah.
And people use it. Like here, you say that's not a great bit of CGI. Looks a bit rough.
Yeah.
It's not.
But
it's terrible.
But there is still a lot of detail as well. Like
there's some half decent lighting on it. I mean,
there's detailed slam all over him as well to make him look more shinier. It's like even if it doesn't always look more realistic, at least put a bit of detail in. You know,
it's got some character to it at least. You know.
Yeah.
And there's effort put into it.
Yes.
It's got that smile as well. That look at that devious little fucking smile. It's like it does give him some, like you said, gives him some personality.
Yeah.
I love how Kate's just a little bit more becoming a bit brash now because the clock is ticking, so there's no time to fuck about. I'm going to get my gun back, even if it means going inside his fucking bowels to get it.
Again, it just shows how pragmatic he is, doesn't it? I like that gun.
Yeah.
You know.
But that means Jay has to fucking handle it by himself. He's got to learn to adapt here now and stop him from getting off the fucking island before until he can get his gun back. And once again, it makes the situation desperate and suspenseful. You really feel like shit's going down. Bad shit's going to happen if they fail. And
Danny's doing his thing with the score. You know, he's doing his thing with the score. It's all escalating, and I know it's a good climax of the film.
Yeah, and there is a lot of tension building as well, but it's also very funny. It's like there's only one way off this planet, baby, and that's through me, and he just fucking knocks him aside. every attempt is just not fucking working, and well, that's when he thinks taking it on physically is not going to fucking help.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's lucky enough to find some Madagascan hissing cockroaches in New York, which is always the go-to when you need some cockroaches in the film for some reason.
I know. If I can't take him on physically, I'm going to get to him emotionally. I'm going to fucking really play into his fucking, just tear his fucking heart out, and that's by killing those cockroaches. And
again, there's a decent bit of payoff after the throwaway scene with, what's his name? John
he's up at my face. Yeah. But I love how he goes, I'll get him as well, like, don't start nothing. It won't be nothing.
But again, those are not cockroaches that you would find in New York. They're pet cockroaches.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and those cockroaches did not get fucking killed either. I mean, I think it was stepping on mustard patches, something like that.
Probably something like that, yeah. I'm not sure how I mean, in the UK, insects aren't actually covered under any animal protection rules, which is why they're always used in the I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. My friends have been approached in the past to supply invertebrates for those shows, and they refuse because they know what happens to them. But they're not actually considered animals in the UK, so they're not covered by cruelty laws. I don't know how it is in America.
Yeah, no, it's because because animal fucking rights are very strict, aren't they? So I mean, they even had to make them count the cockroaches after the scene was finished, just to make sure they weren't missing any. And
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Sod that job.
But then fucking and they've got all this fucking all this stuff all over them, and it looks rancid as well.
It does. Lovely bit of special effects there. Work with the goo.
Yeah, it looks like fucking puke as well. It's like the fact that he's spitting out makes it more fucking horrible to watch.
It looks, it kind of looks like the stuff that the xenomorphs use in the Alien films.
It does,
that kind of gloopy, dripping look to it.
I know, it's just not nice. You just do not want to. It does not look like.
I want to know how many takes they had to do. I'd love to think they did more than one take for that.
I think Tommy Lee Jones was okay with the scene. He actually didn't mind getting slammed, but fucking Will Smith, he did not like one single minute of it.
Oh, really? He was being a bit of a diva, was he?
Yeah, I think he's spitting for real. I think that stuff was getting into his mouth, and he was not enjoying it. But it looks like they've saved the day. But they've saved the fucking day. Yes, the fucking good guys triumph, and you start to get your gun back. Yeah, I like this gun. And I love how he's telling him, I was like, oh, while you were in there, I was trying to hit him, but then he fucking kicked me. I used the fire, and then he kicked me, man. He was kicking my ass all over the place, man, while you were messing around in his bowels. I don't like how, and it's like a nice little fucking jump scare as well. You can still see it crawling in the back, lingering. You think so he's not quite dead, and you're just waiting for him to pop up again.
Again, it's the classic horror trope, isn't it? Yeah. Always back for one last scare.
He goes straight for Jay first as well. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go for you. You killed my fucking family. I'm going to eat you first.
And we get a second dose.
You see, that's one of the that's one of the cool things I think about that design of the cockroaches, because they've gone that way. And I know we're talking about the CGI maybe not being that great, but it allows you to put a lot of expression into it. I don't know how many cockroach faces you've seen, but they do not have a lot of expression.
Yeah, because the cockroach on this does have some very good facial expressions. He's got that evil smile. It's just the way it smiles at them as well before it starts attacking them, and he still comes across as a genuine threat.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a compliment as well. Laurel fucking saves their asses. She packs up.
Yeah, this is why it's so weird that she didn't. Because you seem like a natural thing, but
and she just right. And the thing is, her character was one of the main characters in the animated show. And it's kind of a shame we never saw that in the live action movies.
She didn't make a return. I take it. I can't even remember the other two.
I know she's definitely not in the third one. I don't remember the second one very well at all, to be honest, because it's.
Yeah, they just get this explanation that she wants to go back to a normal life, so he fucking
zapped her.
And, it's so fucking cheap when they do that off screen. It is so cheap.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the reason why she didn't come back, do we? So, you know, it could have been something internal. It could have been that she upset somebody. We'll probably never know. But yeah, it's a shame because, as you say, it seems set up there, you know, for her to carry on.
She might have just been an awful person.
Yeah, could well have been.
Yeah, I heard she was a bit difficult to work with. Kevin Smith was complaining about her in Dogma, so who knows?
Oh, she was in that one, Dogma, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yes, she was. Good film, that.
Yes.
Really fucking funny movie. I'll do that again one day.
Yeah, really blatantly, yeah. I used to love Kevin Smith films.
I did as well. The dialogue was great. I mean,
really good.
Yeah,
Stoner comedies, but just a little bit more of something in there that, you know, showed Kevin Smith's talent. And
then he put Clerks 3 out. My God.
I've not seen it. I don't want to see it.
Man. It could have been great. It was just like to go back into that universe.
Yeah,
I felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah,
give more of those characters.
Yeah,
but
he goes for the feels, doesn't he? I mean, it kind of worked, but I just kind of want him to quit now. I just want him to give up.
Yeah.
I don't think
what Ridley
he
Scott's doing,
for things these days anyway, to be honest. So,
well, it's kind of like what Ridley Scott's doing with Gladiator. So he's not doing fucking well with other things. So he's just falling back on there.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's just falling back into his old ways. It's not working.
Gladiator 2 should be a very interesting one when it finally comes out.
Yeah, speaking of old man reflecting on stuff, this is where we start to see Kay's revealing to him that this whole life is just taking its toll on him, and he just wants out, and that's the reason why he wanted Jay. He was trying to train Jay because he's his replacement. He's the only guy he feels who can take over from him.
Yes, I've been training my replacement. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where we get the line about the stars again, which is great.
Oh. But F just nearly got fucking blown up, and he's was reflecting on the life he never fucking had, and now that they've saved Death and there's plenty more, he has more time left on this earth. He wants to pursue that time and make the most of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you've been in this kind of line of work for this amount of time, and you've got to that certain age, you know, you've seen the things that he's seen, and you're wondering about the road not travelled and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be like that. So,
yeah. No, plus, like I said, it's got more because Earth is saved now. Is like, you know, the life I never had, I could still have it. You know, I could still have another chance here, and I love that. It's all said without him saying it straight up.
Yeah. Oh no, he nails it. Tommy Lee Jones is really, really good in this film.
Yeah, he reflects all that in his face and what he says to him as well, without spelling it out. He just
as I said, I would not trust Hollywood to even get close to doing anything as good as this these days.
Yeah. Well, fucking hell, Linda looks fucking good when she's there.
I say, mate, she was not horrible to look at during this film or anything. So
I was going to say that she's not.
She was a bit of a fucking sex symbol in that. Since she did the Last Seduction, she did that.
I was going to say
film as well.
She was the femme fatale, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's retired now. I don't know if she's upset. I did look her up earlier. She's like 66 or something. I think she's retired.
She's giving it up, man. She's.
To be fair, with women, you I hate to say it, but with women, the roles do just dry up unless you're one of a few actors like, you know, Judi Dench or Helen Mirren. They get roles later into their life, but not all actresses do, unfortunately. So, you know,
I'm trying to look her up now. What she looks like today.
You might be sorry.
She looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, I'm mostly looking up pictures. I'm just seeing pictures where she's like 10 years from 10 years ago. I'm not seeing anything that recent.
No, I was just saying,
just leave it there, man. Quit while you're ahead.
I don't know. I might never fucking say this. I have to know.
You do want to sleep tonight, don't you? Surely.
Stalking mode engaged.
Yeah, I think Toxic might have mentioned it as well, saying that the smoking has really fucking aged it. I don't know, but yeah, unfortunately, that does seem to happen. soon as they hit 30, that's when the smoking starts to really fucking get to them.
Yes.
And obviously,
I can't see anything particularly modern. This might be the most modern one.
She might have just dropped out the limelight altogether.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like she basically put some weight on, and the cool's probably dried up, and that was it. To be honest.
Yeah, so is that fucking reasonable? I don't know. She does look a little bit blood. Yeah, she has a spring a bit. Give me a second.
Oh, hang on, is this her?
Don't share your screen.
That might be her. All right, hang on. How do I copy link address? Try. That's a nice big long URL. Fuck me. If it's it's split across two. I don't know if that Google search will work, but that's her with lots and lots and lots of lines. If that's what you want to see.
Well, we're nearly at the end here, so we'll do.
Her hair is no longer black. Yeah, let's not extend it anymore because I've done that enough. I've given up. I've used value for no money. It's just time for Kate to go back now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very poignant this moment though as well. It's like
this is nicely handled, man. It really is. It's sold by Tommy Lee Jones very well, and Will Smith, even though he's not. I mean, the thing about Will Smith is it would be argued at this point of his career, he's not really taking on any serious acting roles. Obviously, he'd shown that he could act with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did do some good acting in there. But as far as the films that he'd taken on, like Independence Day, like this, he was still very typecast as that kind of cool, kind of dude. He hadn't taken on his serious roles like he would later, like The Pursuit of Happiness and stuff like that. When he started going after his Oscar, basically.
Yeah, and I think I always kind of preferred Will Smith when he kind of did a bit of both. The action, the fucking likable goofball combination kind of thing. But yeah,
he's a half decent actor. I wouldn't say I've ever seen him in anything that makes me think, oh my god, he's one of the best actors I've ever seen. But he's reliable. He's decent enough he's had a decent career, and there's a reason behind that.
He's sure he can fucking act. He's sure he's got the chops.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's ever topped the stuff he did in the Nazis, because the Nazis was basically his heyday. He had this.
Yeah, I mean,
before Wild Wild West, nearly every fucking film he was doing was a big smash hit.
Yeah, I was going to say, right after this, that fucking song he did, Men in Black, strangely enough, went absolutely mental. You heard it everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So it did a lot for his rap career as well, or his music career.
And yet, this is really fucking touching.
Smile on his face. Yeah, nice.
He gets to fucking start over and live the life he could have had, and he can finally have that life with his high school crush. Yeah, it's kind of fucking moving, and
it rounds out the film nicely. I mean, as you say, I kind of like 3, but we didn't need another one. The narrative wrapped itself up. The character arcs were resolved.
There she is.
There she is.
And she looks good in that fucking suit as well. God, I see more of that in the sequels. But,
damn it.
No, they had to fucking write her out. Unless she didn't want to fucking...
producers.
Maybe she asked for too much money or something. You never know.
Yeah.
She might not have even wanted to do it.
I think her little spat with Kevin Smith and Dogma might have ruined it for her, because she was in fuck all after that. Not sorrow or anything anyway. We do get a little. We get a funny moment where.
No, it was 99. Yeah.
Well, there's a funny moment where she's saying some aliens want front seats to a Knicks game, and he's like, "Well, that's Dennis Rodman. He's from that same planet." And it's like, Rodman's an alien? Not much of disguise. And once again, we get that really cool Danny Elfman score, and we start panning all the way from the far ends of the galaxy, only to reveal how insignificant we are. There's a real
great visual gag.
Yeah, we're all little fucking marbles for an alien to play. It's such a dark sense of humour to such a darkly funny moment, and it does make me laugh more and more. The more I watch it now as I get older.
Yeah, Linda Flynn for record. After Dogma, she only did 5 more films, and the last one was in 2009.
2009.
What were those 5 other films?
Those 5 other films were the classics such as Ordinary Decent Criminal,
No.
What Planet Are You From,
No.
Where the Money Is, Liberty Stands Still,
No.
and Once More with Feeling.
Never heard of any of them.
No, neither had I. So,
Yeah.
as I say, her career quite obviously just died after Dogma. Maybe she got a reputation for being awkward to work with.
But I don't know. Maybe she's changed a bit now since she's fucking rich. She's probably retired now and probably settled down a bit now. Who knows? It's.
I would think that, you know, with films like this and Dogma, which was obviously a good success on its own, provided you're not living an extravagant lifestyle, you could probably be comfortable off the residuals or whatever. You know,
probably is. I mean, I don't see anything fucking. I've not heard of her overdosing in a fucking alleyway or any shit like that. It's or starting an OnlyFans at fucking 60, like some actresses seem to be doing as well. I mean, look at her on The Sopranos. Fucking,
oh God,
she's still hot for her age, but no, come on, you got fucking kids now.
There's such a thing as aging gracefully. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm a misogynist for saying that, but no, there is such a thing as aging gracefully. I like to think.
No, I don't think it's misogynistic to say age gracefully because we've seen what happens when women don't fucking age gracefully. I mean, Madonna is a great example.
Oh Christ! A walking blonde train wreck, that is.
Jay Seymour is fucking 75 and she's still 10 years younger than Madonna does now. 60, 65. I don't know. But yeah, Men in Black, it's like I said, nearly 30 fucking years now, and it's still good. It's still very fun,
absolutely.
creative.
Yeah. It's still a very good film. Yeah, it's slick. It's got a snappy script. It propels itself along at a good pace. It's got a good mix of action, comedy. As I said, I wouldn't trust Hollywood to make anything like it these days. And they showed us what they did, and it was called Men in Black International. It sucked.
They're very rapidly losing that art and that craft of filmmaking. And all the stars align for films like this because, like I said before, you've got a brilliant score, you've got a brilliant cinematographer, the director knows what he's doing, you've got the chemistry on screen with the actors, you've got all the sets, everything, the light and everything.
As I say, as far as double acts, I think they're up there, K&J. I really, I really think they're up there.
You've mentioned it before, the script's very tight. It's quite simple when you boil it down, but it absolutely works. There's no bullshit. You don't have to wade through it thinking, why the fuck's he done that? What is she doing? Why is that car there when it wasn't there before? Etc., etc., etc. You just sit and watch it, take on board what's happening on screen, listening to the dialogue. You get the story, you get what's going on. And then
I think so. I think, I mean, as far as a lean Hollywood movie goes, I think this is up there.
And you're satisfied by the time it gets to the end.
Hour and 37 minutes, hour 38, call it.
You don't go, what the fuck was that all about? Like with everything, it seems nowadays. Almost everything.
I mean, this isn't like Go On and Win by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
It is. It's what it really is one of the last films that really entertained, and I really do mean that. I can't recall that many films after this that I found particularly entertaining. That the last kind of popcorn movie for me.
In that kind of formula, absolutely. Better than all those awful 80s movies, eh?
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd agree with that.
The thing is with this movie, it was coming off a time where every movie was like a CGI supernatural disaster. We had twisters and volcano, and we was finally seeing a popcorn movie that had characters taking on aliens and just having fun with it and having actual character acts and development and dynamics, real character dynamics as well.
I think that's one of the things is this film's one and only aim is to entertain.
Exactly.
There is nothing else behind this film at all. It just wants to entertain, and there's something pure about that.
It still gave enough substance that it still gave enough respect to the audience to provide substance for that.
Yeah, it's not mindless. I mean, you can look into the dynamic between the characters. You can look into, if you wanted to be that way, you could even look into the allegories for immigration if you really wanted to. I think that's taken it a bit far. I think there's enough in the characters, and I think the characters in this, I can't overstate it, are so great. Kay is such a great character. You know, you've got that old war dog, that old veteran. He's seen it all. He's had enough. He's thinking about the life he could have had. He's jaded. Nothing stirs him. Nothing excites him. You know. And
do you know what?
Well.
I've got to say exactly what you said. You know, about allegory. I mean, I don't think anything in this film is an allegory for anything else. What I think is that they've kind of utilized situations and situations of the day or of today, modern issues, and thought, right, okay, let's just, we could actually do that, but with aliens.
Yes.
Rather than saying, well, why don't we do that and we'll use that as an allegory for today's immigration issues. That's why, if this was made today, which undoubtedly wouldn't be made today, then they would really push that. They would push that.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no way that Linda Florentina would be the same character.
No.
Not for 1 second. She would have to be Strangwoman, and I think it would ruin the film, personally.
Yeah.
So
because she kind of showed strength in small doses as well, but she still felt like a normal woman, didn't she?
This is the thing. I said, like, in no way is she a shrinking violet, damsel in distress, all that kind of thing. She's quite smart. She's fairly witty. She talks back to the guys. She's independent, all that kind of stuff. But feminists would look at this film and they would hate it. They would hate the fact that she's not kicking ass. She's not blowing away aliens. She's not putting down the men all the time. She's not filleting.
They probably hate Will Smith for thinking that she's coming onto him. But he's been a fucking red-blooded male.
Exactly.
No, I would. I'd be the same. My stupid ass.
But I'm not even sure whether it would be feminists. What I would consider to be feminists that would actually go for this. It would be your common or garden TikTok. I want to hate everything and jump on every kind of bandwagon that's out there, because it's kind of cool to hate things and cool to come down on everything. I think the kind of modern feminism. And it's not the kind of feminism that people like Jermaine Greer were.
No. I mean, you've got your different waves, haven't you? And whatever we're on now.
Probably, a millennial feminism, I think. Yeah, millennial TikTok feminism.
Yeah, the kind of ones that get upset at friends and stuff like that.
Or get upset by proxy, offended by proxy.
Because Chandler called Monica fat, and it's like,
exactly. That kind of stuff. I mean, it's exhausting to think about, in all honesty. But
wanting to be offended on somebody else's behalf.
Oh yes, the power to be offended by nearly anything, and as you say, on somebody else's behalf. It doesn't offend you. You just feel that you should be offended because you are knighting for somebody. It's tiresome.
That's the whole virtual signalling. In a nutshell, really, right there.
Yes, exactly. To make yourself feel morally superior and give yourself that dopamine hit that you get from.
And it goes back to what you say about this being an allegory, but it's not shoving it down your throat either. It's remembering to be a fucking fun little caper. While still.
As I say, nothing but entertainment in this film's mind. Absolutely no. From any perspective, there's no racism aspect. There's no sort of like class aspect. Like there's a little bit of taking the piss about like the military elite and this, street cop, but it's all done very tongue in cheek. It's all done very innocently. There's no malice in the film. These days, I just don't think that would be the case. These days, there'd be some big statement, and it'd just be ugh.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Even when it's entertaining, it still shows some weight as well. Like the life you lead is going to be hard because you're severing ties with people who care for you. You can't ever interact them again. And I love those little moments. And it obviously shows on Kay as well, which leads him to want to go back to having the normal life.
Yeah, and that's why that line's so great. The stars, they really are quite beautiful. Yeah. But you forget, they're beautiful because of the innocence of not knowing what they are.
Yeah.
Once you've seen what they mean and what they actually are, then you lose that innocence. And I imagine it works for people in a lot of different things. I mean, maybe in some, maybe yeah, I don't know. I mean, like working on movies from the behind, has it spoiled any of the magic? Do you wish sometimes you could, look at these things as just with the willful, blissful ignorance of the viewer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very difficult when you've been on something and you, in particular, if you remember how a specific scene was shot and what went into it, and I'll look at something and I'll think I know exactly where I was standing. I could put my position on set exactly, knew what I was, whether it was in front of or behind the camera.
Yeah, it's like you get that look behind the curtain, don't you? It's got to alter your perception at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
it never ruins it for me. It never ruins it for me. When I watch it and I know what they did, it just makes me admire the hard work they put into it.
Yeah, it doesn't when I watch special features. Don't get me wrong. When I see special features and stuff, it doesn't, because I'm still seeing it through a lens, and I'm getting the creator's perspective. But I suspect if I was on set, I think it might be different.
Yeah,
because you'll see all the takes, you'll see the workmanship behind it all, you'll see the drudgery of the day to day, and that might affect how you view the film.
Yeah, it does. It does. Genuinely, it really does. And I think that anybody who says that it doesn't affect them, that you can actually watch something, anybody who hasn't been on a set, I do kind of envy them. But anyone who has, and if they say that they don't have a slightly weirder view of the film or TV show that they happen to be involved with, is lying and just using that to try and sell it.
Yeah, it's going to skew things, isn't it? If you're a fan of how anything's made and then you see how it's made and you're involved in the making of it, it's going to take a little bit of that joy away. You'll gain a new perspective, don't get me wrong. You'll gain additional information and additional perspective from a different side that a fan just wouldn't see. But I do feel like it's just going to pollute it ever so slightly, which is...
It does. Pollute is a great word to use. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, it is. It's kind of... it is polluted. It is kind of... I don't know. It's weird for if you haven't been in that position, to try and explain it to somebody accurately. It's very, very difficult. It's a weird feeling. It's a really, really weird feeling.
Yeah, I imagine it's a bit of a double-edged sword, basically.
It is. It really is, and it's kind of slightly more satisfying when you've worked on something that's absolute garbage. Believe it or not. It's much better when you've worked on something that's terrible and you look back at what you've done, and you don't ever wish that you could watch that and really enjoy it, because it's but it's when something's really good and everyone says, oh, this is really, really amazing, or I really love, say for example, Band of Brothers, just fucking one out of the air. It's extremely weird, right? What's really weird is that so many people love it so much. Right? It's such an adored TV event, if you like, TV show. But but to have been present on so much of that, and to have been literally in the thick of everything, I don't know. You get a very, very strange perspective. I mean, on that, I've got a really odd perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine it's why a lot of actors and even directors don't watch their own finished films.
Yeah.
Because a lot of actors have actually, they film their scenes, they're out of order, they have no idea what the final film's going to look like. They've done their job, and they don't see the finished film quite often. So, it's got to completely skew things. It must be very, very strange.
It is odd. It is. It's really odd. I know Maggie Smith, actually. She's never seen anything that she's been in.
Oh wow, that's a lot of films.
She's never watched anything. Never watched anything that she's been in. I think the only
some people might not even be able to stand seeing themselves on the screen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, they got all like James Woods in Family Guy saying, how you look at this guy, your eye is still drawn to me.
Yes.
I love that. I don't think James Woods is like that in real life either. But the fact that they play this off like that did make me laugh.
I love actors who can take the piss out of themselves.
Yeah, I know.
It shows a humility that I love to see.
Yeah.
I really do just love to see that.
Yeah.
I had a lot of respect for, because I've never really rated Channing Tatum as an actor. And when I saw Fly Me to the Moon, I was like, he's all right, he's solid, but he's never going to convince me that he's a good, great actor or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I love
What
that
about in
phase where he's
Foxcatcher?
taking the piss out of himself endlessly in films.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, anyone who's really self-deprecating, I think you sort of get the measure of them. You know, if you're actually on set with some of these people, you do kind of get the measure of a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that they're just not taking themselves seriously. That all they're doing is, you know, they've been strategically shaved and dressed in a funny costume. They're asked to walk from A to B talking.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what a lot of them really feel like.
Yeah.
And it
Don't
seems
get me
to
wrong,
be.
I'm not talking about people who take acting seriously. I don't mind people who value acting as an art form and all that kind of stuff. I understand method acting, like something like Gary Oldman, obviously deeply respects acting. But I think if you believe the hype in your own ego, that's a bit of a bad sign.
Oh yeah. But there have been plenty of people that I've seen on set that have really acted with, you know, an unwarranted ego. Let's just say an unearned ego. And it tends to be
a Rachel as I said.
Oh God, Rachel Zegler,
and it's
weird before it even started.
and it tends to be the least talented and you know, the kind of lower scale, lower end, low rent type actors that happen to be like that.
Have you ever worked with Trevor Eve by any chance?
Trevor Eve, I think I have. I believe.
Remember if you did.
I wouldn't say worked with, but possibly worked on something that he was in.
Yeah.
I think. Why'd you ask?
I worked on a when I was doing my degree.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2003.
Yeah.
I think it was the summer of 2004. I worked on do you know Company Productions?
No, I don't know.
Company. They were doing something up this end. It's called Lawless, and it starred Trevor Eve and Ralph Brown was in there. Orla Brady.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best. I learned so much from that. I worked with a guy called Simon Clark. I don't know if you've ever come across Simon Clark, the sound guy. And another guy called Steve Peckover. The whole crew were just awesome. A lot of them were from the northeast, but some of them were from down south.
A lot of these crews, lower working crewmen, always seem to be the more grounded, aren't they? Because they're just guys doing a job. That's it.
Yeah. It's more of a gig economy then, isn't it? So you can't take anything for granted. That's the thing.
That's it. Yeah. But just one of the most obnoxious, ignorant, big-headed, self-important people I've ever had the misfortune to come across.
I would never have guessed that. I would never have believed that.
I spoke to him one dinner break. We were just storing the gear. It was in I think it was at the back of like a pub or something in Newcastle.
Yeah.
We were doing a scene on, there's these sort of famous steps in the quayside. We were up there. And I was doing the sound. So I was boom up. So we did a bit of that. Took all the gear down the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
We were storing it in this kind of yard. He was sat in his deck chair with his newspaper reading, flicking through it. And I just happened to try to make polite conversation, like, "Oh, how are you doing? Nice day, sunny, isn't it? That was a good scene, wasn't it?" Didn't even look up from his newspaper.
Nice.
I knew he'd heard what I'd said because I was the only person there. He was the only one. The only one there was us two. I thought, all right, fair enough. There was another incident with him on set. I think she was called Eileen. She was the on-set nurse.
Yeah.
She was a little bit older than me, but you know, she looked after herself. She was quite an attractive lady. And he took one of the boom poles off me and said he got his wallet out of his jacket and he pulls a wad of cash out. He says, "Oh, look, everybody, I've got 400. I remember the exact amount. £480 I've got. I'm going to give it to Eileen if she'll do a pole dance around this pole." I thought, you just sleazy dirtbag.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Showing off how much money you've got in your wallet and then asking a girl that you don't even know to pole dance in front of the entire crew for 480 quid. I just lost all respect for the man.
Wow.
But there were other incidents as well. Just, I don't think anybody liked him. Ralph Brown was amazing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can imagine. I mean,
we have to hit, I'm going to have to wrap this up soon, but we can finish this on the after show anyway. So, I'm going to go to the final thoughts now, and I'm going to wrap up now. And once again, thanks for joining us, and we'll finish off the conversation after if you're okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course, man. No worries at all. As I say, I've done my usual, so I'm notably trying to be quiet.
So final thoughts. So final thoughts on Men in Black. Then we'll go with you, Critical, first.
Right. Well, going by what Nick says. I mean, I give this film a solid 9 out of 10. I really do. I agree. I think it's up there with one of those popcorn blockbusters. It's also a film that I don't think I'd ever get bored of, and I kind of feel guilty that I've not watched it for a while, and I want to watch it again now, and I probably will do tomorrow, literally just to analyze Vincent D'Onofrio's performance, because I get the feeling that I've been missing something. And the last time I saw this film was probably well over 10 years ago. And I'm a slightly more critical, cynical person now. And I think I might get something out of it different to what I did back then, because I tend to analyze films more now rather than just watch them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. That's why I do all these streams, because I'm always trying to find out new things about it, especially from the guests I have. So
I think it offered me a new perspective. And like, say, for example, Longlegs, I got a lot more out of that film watching it now than I think I would have 10 yeyears ago. 10 years ago, it was like, oh, that was a pretty cool, thriller film, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't have, where I've absorbed myself more in the film critical criticism circles of things like, Critical Drinker and stuff like that, and other channels in the last 10 years, I've gained a new appreciation. And I think I could watch Men in Black again with that new appreciation and really enjoy it. So, I think I like 1. I didn't like 2. I like 3 because of the Josh Brolin aspect of it, and I really like that. But International was just awful, absolutely awful. I only saw it, but it was just terrible. So
we'll all agree it's a shit show. But thanks for your thoughts.
This is a good one.
Inside Man, final thoughts.
I mean, as I say, this is one of those rare occasions where you can revisit and reminisce about what movies used to be like, the ones that used to entertain you. It's a cracking piece of entertainment, and it's just such a shame that we have to keep looking back rather than forward for product like this, movies like this that are going to entertain us. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love looking back on stacks and stacks of stuff that have previously entertained me, but this is probably one of the it's kind of the beginning of the end of proper entertainment, I think. But it's, from me, I'd easily give this a 10.
Thanks for that. I agree. I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because I don't always believe in perfection, but this is near perfection for me. So, because it's got a very smart script, it's got very good characters with great chemistry. It's very inventive, and it really does play on. It really does bring a whole lot of world building as well in such a short amount of time. And final thoughts, Fandad Menis?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. I can't even remember the first time I saw it or if I've ever seen it in its entirety. But I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10 for me. And I'm just going to mirror what Inside Man said. It is a shame that the past is the future. We've got to look back to get great stories told really well and performed really well, because it's really entertainment just seems to be falling apart at the minute, and I don't know if there is any coming back from the brink. I know there's been all this sort of
if there is, it's going to be a very fucking hard climb out of that fucking pit.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a radical shift. People are saying we're winning the culture war. I'm not sure that we are, to be honest. But the only thing I can be thankful for is that there's a lot of films, well, shamefully, there's a lot of films that I haven't seen that will be probably considered classics that I can go and watch and enjoy, because I know it's going to just be a great experience. So,
Yeah, great.
Yeah, there's so much to admire in the old stuff.
No.
What's next week?
Yeah. Next week is Falling Down.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you
wanted me to do one of these under 3 hours. I can There's so much to pick apart in that film.
Start at 5 o'clock.
Exactly.
So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Everyone in chat, Nix, Atom, Goldish Gamer,
Big Ray.
Yeah, Jamalama, Barbara Lawrence, Ray, Focus. Just scrolling up now, just in case, because I don't want to miss anyone out here. Where are you? Who else was there? Yeah, Ray Stevens was. Yeah, Blue Colour as well. Beardy Bro, thank you. Yeah, David Wilson, yeah, you're very welcome. Very welcome to be here. And I think that's it. And Lord Toxic as well. Yeah, Lord Toxic as well. Yeah, he came to roast my potatoes as well.
Blue Collar.
Before Nick's got a chance to. Yeah. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching. And do remember to like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget to ring that bell. And please do the same for my guests here as well, if you get a chance. And right now, that's me done, and I am off to the pub. Good night.
Ta-ta.
Bye.